It is 6 o'clock. Good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. Week 12, the NFL season wrapped up with Monday Night Football last night as the San Francisco 49ers beat the Carolina Panthers 20-9. 5 interceptions thrown between Brock Purdy and Bryce Young. Christian McCaffrey rushed for 89 yards, a touchdown, and also caught 7 passes for 53 yards as well in the win. The 49ers improved to 8-4 on the season. Number 17, Tennessee basketball in the Players Era Festival Tournament in Vegas yesterday took down Rutgers 85-60. Guard Jacoby Gillespie had 32 points. The Vols are back at it tonight with a big tip-off against number 3 Houston at 5 p.m. Central Time. Houston beat Syracuse yesterday in overtime, 78-74. In NFL news, Bengals head coach Zach Taylor told reporters yesterday that he anticipates quarterback Joe Burrow playing on Thanksgiving Day in their matchup against the Ravens. Meanwhile, T. Higgins, who has a concussion, and Trey Hendrickson with a hip injury have both been ruled out for the contest. And Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski is rolling with rookie quarterback Shedeur Sanders as the starting quarterback after he won his first career start, despite Dylan Gabriel clearing concussion protocol. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Off and running, kicking off your Tuesday morning on Ramon and Will. A very good Tuesday morning to you here on 104.5 The Zone. We are fueled by Scooter's Coffee. And we got 4 hours with a lot to get to this morning. When you take 5 weeks of shows and you cram them into 3, we got a lot of breakdowns to do. Tons of Tennessee Vanderbilt talk this morning. 247's Chris Lee joins us at 8:20, covering Vanderbilt there. Ron Slay at 9:20. We'll get Ramon's breakdown ahead of the Vol Network broadcast on Saturday. We've even moved the Thursday 3 to Tuesday, and we got the NFL weekend to wrap up as well. 615-737-1045 and streaming live on 1045 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. Good morning, gentlemen. How are we?
We're good, man. Good morning, Will. How you living today, man? Everything well? Fine? You bounced back from this weekend?
Getting there. Getting there. One of those weeks where it's so short that I don't feel like I have to properly rest to bounce back. We'll just do that throughout the rest of the week on my favorite holiday of the year.
This is yours. By the way,
Is it really?
I love Thanksgiving.
He does. He
Absolutely love Thanksgiving. Don't get me wrong. I love Christmas too. And I also love the first 2 days of March Madness. But I don't have the pressure with Thanksgiving. Like, there's no gift-giving pressure. There's not as many
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, there's not as many activities.
Yeah.
Like, hallelujah, praise be to God. Love our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. But also, I love Thanksgiving.
Yeah. No.
The two don't have to be mutually exclusive.
Here's the thing. You don't have to, you really don't have to, like, explain that one because it just is what it is. Like, Christmas is already taken up for what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's celebration of our Lord Jesus Christ.
Exactly.
It is.
That part of it, the best part.
It handles itself, and people are in such a rush to get to it also because they want to make it about them. Your thing, and let me help you out right here. Yours is, no, I'm thankful for the people around
That's
me.
exactly right.
See, I cleaned it up right there for my dog.
Attaboy.
I cleaned it up
Well
for
said.
my dog right there,
well
man.
said.
It's the people, it's the friend, it's the hate.
It's
It
just
might come
simpler,
with it.
and it's good football. It's good basketball. Feast week was outstanding.
Yes, it was.
Off to an outstanding start last night as well.
Yes, it was. That Syracuse and Houston game.
Way better than the experts expected.
All I was thinking last night was I was watching, like, beat them down, run them a little bit more so we can soften them up for the Vols.
Oregon-Auburn was
Houston, that
fantastic
I
yesterday
didn't see that
afternoon,
one.
and then Gonzaga handling Alabama late last night as well.
Zach, Alabama?
Mm-hmm.
I saw it, and I saw them coming through the tunnels. I was like, I ain't going to make it through this one. It's just kind of where I was yesterday. I did see a little bit of Monday Night Football, and the portion of it that I watched, I will say I enjoyed the back and forth, like they were playing volleyball or something with the interceptions and turnovers. Goodness.
Ugly football game. We have had more than our fair share of ugly primetime games recently.
Yeah, we have. And that matchup to me personally didn't make any sense other than the fact that the schedule makers were thinking that, and they are better. Carolina was going to be better, but it just being about Christian McCaffrey, his playing them on primetime, I didn't think that was that much of a headliner or story maker because everybody understood why Christian McCaffrey wanted out of Carolina, did they not?
Yeah.
It wasn't a breakup. Like, if there's a matchup I want to see in primetime, is A.J. Brown and the Titans. Now, that one was dicey there.
Yeah, for us, but I don't know if the rest of the league would feel the same way.
They feel the exact same way about, okay, all right, that's understood. Did you also know this, too? I heard somebody say it might have been around the building, but the most alcohol sold in the year, you know what day it is? The most alcohol, allegedly.
Black Friday?
Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah, it's the day where all the kids go home for Thanksgiving break.
Every time I give that answer to somebody, they're like, that kind of makes sense because everybody's home.
I was curious on Black Friday because you have a lot of liquor stores that will do like special deals for bourbons and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
But that probably doesn't move the needle enough to make it that day.
Brag just a little bit.
Of course you can.
It's the holiday season and I'm thankful.
Mm-hmm.
I had a friend of mine that I put out a little birdie about 3 weeks ago. Hey, if you find this bottle, let me know. That bottle was an Eagle Rare 17.
Oh, wow.
I had to call on Friday. I said, I'll see you Monday.
Wow. Okay.
Will, retail, Eagle Rare 17.
That's pretty amazing.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Thankful. Okay, and golly, I forgot to bring it for you. I picked you up something, too.
Oh, my gosh. All right. Brag for both of us, then. That's fantastic.
I will get you at some point also. Do you drink?
Yeah.
You do? Okay.
He said, yeah, absolutely.
Is alcohol liquid?
Is water wet?
Yes.
Right.
Yes, it is.
I got you. Oh, that's on me. I didn't bring anybody anything this morning, but I thought about Will as I picked up a barrel pick yesterday, and I was just like, I got to get Hawk a barrel pick too then.
Right. Brown, clear, beer. I don't care.
Brown, clear beer, baby.
We're always in the clear.
Do we use that often enough, brown, clear beer?
Just did.
And it's a part of the show now.
Last night, the NFL weekend wraps up. Panthers, no, this is not right. The NFL.com definitely got this. Yep, they have the score opposite. 49ers 20, Panthers 9. I watched this game, so that's never mind. Anyway, we're inside baseball here. I use NFL.com and their What We Learned article for a lot of the resources after an NFL game or after an NFL weekend. They have it opposite. So
they're already on vacation.
49ers 20, Panthers 9 last night. Brock Purdy threw 3 interceptions. He was so bad in the first half of this game, I thought we were going to see Mac Jones.
Yeah, I did too.
I really did. Very ugly. All 3 of his picks were on downfield passes. Man, they are riding the Christian McCaffrey train the way the Titans were with Derrick Henry not too long ago.
They were, and it goes through him. They give it to him so much. He fumbled last night. He got Christian McCaffrey got the ball punched out early last night, and the next play, they gave it right back to him. I was just like, usually guys get snatched out of the doggone game. They get a cussing on the sideline. Not Christian McCaffrey. Absolutely not. He is dynamic. He has a way of finding those empty yards, man. And what I mean by those empty yards is the play is stopped at the line of scrimmage, and he's got great vision and footwork to where he'll scoot to the side, move right, move left, and get still 5 or 6 yards. So I kind of get it. He has the ability to kind of move up the field flawlessly at the running back position and with the smallest amount of blocking up front, too. I like watching him. I will say that. But I'm with you. So much relies on his legs that I almost get why he's always injured, too.
Ugly game for Carolina. 1 of 7 on third down, 230 yards. These teams both, in terms of yards per play, not good. Carolina actually had over 100 less total yards in this game, but had more average yards per play in this game because they were able to have the football for extra possessions after so many turnovers. 5.3 yards per play to San Francisco's 4.9 yards per play. The interception in the end zone for Bryce Young was truly one of the worst decisions I've seen a quarterback make this year. I think Dave Canales got it wrong in this game as well, because how are you going to tell me in a game that was 10-3 late, your running backs only have 9 total rushing attempts? And that's what they do. Rico Dowdle has 3 games of 130 or more rushing yards. He had 6 carries for 38 yards in this game, 6.3 yards per attempt. I have no idea for the life of me why they put the ball in Bryce Young's hands and took it out of their running back's hands so much in this game.
Personally, it seems like a head coach that was trying to put his premier player, Bryce Young, in a prime time. Is that me?
What happened?
I thought I heard audio from somebody.
I don't think so.
I felt personally like he was trying to put his quarterback, Bryce Young, in a prime time situation as a new head coach also. You do see these types of things where these trends go up or guys do extracurricular stuff when they know they're in prime time moments. I'm not sure how many Monday Night Football or Sunday Night Football games that Carolina's had in the last 5 years, but my guess is it's not more than 2. Okay, I just want to throw that out there, and given that opportunity, that end zone interception that Bryce Young threw, he rolled out and had a better opportunity getting closer to the 1 yard line instead of throwing that interception. I felt it because I felt he threw that. It's because he wanted to be validated globally or nationally as, hey, I still got it. I can pinpoint throw a football in the end zone. Guys get stupid on primetime football.
Really?
They just do. Oh, no doubt about it. The egos of playing on primetime football, especially when you're not used to it, is over and beyond, Will. Like, you think about everybody that denied you. You think about the situations in which, hey, you counted me out, Team X, 2 years ago. Now look at me, I'm about to go ball. They get personal fouls and just do stupid plays because of their own primetime football. I do think moving forward, Dave Canales won't do those types of things. Like, and again, Tedero McMillan last night dropped a ball right in the palm of his hands. I mean, I'm talking about in the palm, in the basket of his hands. This is because guys get tight. You got to be used to those type of scenarios right there. Because I will say, the lights do get bigger on Monday Night Football, Sunday Night Football, especially those 2. Thursday night is kind of normal, to be quite honest with you, and it's a short week. But I felt like Dave Canales was trying to force it, and so was Bryce Young, too. That was just too blatant, too flagrant.
5 combined interceptions in this game between 2 young quarterbacks with a lot of question marks around him. Brock Purdy, because of the big contract that he earned. Bryce Young, who had been playing better, coming back from his injury, who just, has games like this a little too often. Still learning, still growing, but frustrating if you're a Panthers fan. Felt like that was certainly a winnable game. You tell Panthers fans you're going to intercept Brock Purdy 3 times. You're going to hold Christian McCaffrey to under 100 rushing yards. You feel pretty good about your chances, but you threw some bad red zone picks yourself. So a good finish, I guess, to week 12 of the NFL.
Guess.
And we were quickly in my household. Myself was quickly switching to basketball on the main TV last night because the football was so bad it got relegated to the laptop.
By the way, Bryce Young eyes scare me too. It's just that when they panned to him a couple times last night, his eyes, now they're supposed to, but I'm projecting here is what I'm saying because he didn't play so well. But it looked as if he was scanning side to side so much that he didn't know what he was looking at. He was taking in too much information. You watch veteran quarterbacks that are good in those moments right there, they go left, they go right, and their eyes kind of settle. His was wide, left, right, wide. It was, I watched those little small things. Like, guys got to be calm in those moments. And to your point about Bryce Young still trying to figure it out, I do think he's a good quarterback and can be, but they got to settle into what they want him to do at the quarterback position, because he ran a little bit more than I thought he would. But again, it's just what he is as a quarterback right now. He's in the middle of something. He's quarterback purgatory.
Live for the 104.5 The Zone Circus Sports Studio, Kentucky's largest sports book can now be found at Circus Sports at Kentucky Downs. Our weekend pick segment, the Thursday 3, moves to Tuesday, coming up next.
It's Ramon and Will for Window Nation, man. It's almost the end of November, and Window Nation wants you to take advantage of their sale that they have going on right now, especially if you want your home to be comfortable year-round, your family protected, and an investment that you can feel great about for years, man. They're just good at what they do, man. They got an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, which is clutch. They do a 50-point inspection of every window before it leaves the factory, and 20-point inspections on every window when it's installed. You can just simply trust them. And if you don't believe us, Will and I, well, guess what? They got over 45,000 five-star reviews, Will.
And you can take advantage of Window Nation's end-of-year sale through November. Get 50% off all window styles. You could get 0% interest financing for 5 years. Window Nation has installed over 3 million windows across the country, and their windows come with a lifetime warranty. Schedule a fast free estimate now at windownation.com, and hurry because this sale ends soon. Don't wait to put an end to your window problems online at windownation.com. Tuesday morning, Ramon and Will, fueled by Scooter's Coffee. At Ramon and Will, where you follow the show on Twitter and stream us live. Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. F&M Bank Chat open with Ramon Foster and Justin Hawkins. I'm Will Bowling. Thursday, 3 picks move to Tuesday this week because obviously we will all be in food comas on Thursday. And no show on Friday either. So you got us today. You got us tomorrow. You got Rhett Bryan in for myself tomorrow. I am off to celebrate Thanksgiving with my family today, which means we've got rivalry weekend picks a couple days early for you. Last weekend, Justin goes 2-1, 23-16 record. Ramon goes 1-2, 22-17. It feels like, and you correct me if I'm wrong, you looked ahead to Vandy. And you let your feelings and negative vibes around Vandy influence you to pick Kentucky to cover?
No. Personally, no. Okay. I did not. I promise you on that one.
I have a second theory.
I can be a hater when it comes down to that, but I'm trying to win this betting thing. For as bad as I was.
I know you are.
Yeah, no, I just want to give, as bad as I was last year and the year before, I want to be good at this. I looked at that game with how Cutter Boley had been playing.
Yeah, that was my other guess.
Yeah, that's how I looked. I at least said this: Kentucky would go down swinging. They've had momentum. What was they won 2 games in a row?
I think
3 in a row.
Yeah.
And that's probably the issue. The pendulum had to swing in the other direction. They go back to being a frog.
You saw a very good version of Cutter Boley.
I saw the best version.
Yeah, you did. Tennessee's defense has made a lot of quarterbacks.
It was a
look
night
like the
game,
best versions
too.
of themselves.
So that play.
Right.
Well, when the Vols played against Kentucky, it's rivalry week. What am I doing here? When the Vols played against Kentucky, it was a rivalry game, and they played like that also. Even though their fan base didn't show up much at all. Yeah.
I was 1-2 as well. I am 18-21. Was moving in the right direction, then we took another step back, but that's all right. A lot of ball left.
Yeah.
Let's start with Justin. Your first pick, please, for the rivalry weekend at NFL Week 13.
Hawks Logs. Weekly reminder. The Egg Bowl. Here we go.
All right.
I'm going to take Ole Miss -7 at Mississippi State in Starkville. The announcement that's supposed to be coming on Saturday, I don't believe it's the announcement that many people think it is.
What do you think it is?
I think it's him staying. I told you this on Friday. I think Lane Kiffin is staying. Look,
I like where your mind is at, Hawk.
If he was leaving, do you think that they can really control the narrative and it not leak out that he's going to LSU or he's going to Florida?
Yes,
they are trying to control this narrative. They are keeping it in-house because he is staying.
Who's they?
They, as in Mississippi State.
It's not up to
Ole
them.
Miss.
I don't think it's up to Ole Miss.
I'm just saying.
This has got Jimmy Sexton's fingerprints all over it.
He does.
All over it.
He's staying in-house.
You got him staying, though.
I've been on this train for at least a couple weeks now.
I would be very surprised.
They gave him to the Egg Bowl, and here we are at the Egg Bowl, and here we are, -7. Ole Miss against Mississippi State is 4-1 under Lane Kiffin, straight up. That includes double-digit victories in Starkville. The Bulldogs, meanwhile, are 3-3 against the spread as an underdog. They want to play spoiler. Ole Miss, has a chance to maybe miss the playoff. I doubt it. Lane Kiffin's going to come in.
Oh, they're in. Yeah, they're in the playoff.
Yeah, they're in.
Even if they lose.
Okay.
And this is just about hate. I mean, the rivalry weekend is all about hate. This game especially. This game is just so stupid. It is so stupid. Again, if I'm taking out the rivalry weekend component of it, yes, I think you're making the right pick. But I want nothing to do with this football game because it is just so stupid every single year, and I love it. I love it. I eat it up every year. It is the dumbest football game of the SEC schedule in the absolute greatest of ways.
Ole Miss -7.
Okay. Ramon, your first pick, please.
All right, we got to do better. We got to get on the right track, man. My first pick this week, I'm taking one that I got from my good friend Brad Crawford, man. He didn't have much belief in what he thought South Carolina was. Clemson, South Carolina play this weekend. Give me the +2.5 Clemson on this one. Dabo's got the better roster. The defense that South Carolina does have, they always rise up. It's in William Bryce Stadium. It checks every box that you want to, but you got, Shane Beamer speaking about he can't wait to see what next year's team going to look like, and he may end up being correct in how he, planned to win the national championship next year. But on this one, I see Dabo kind of cleaning this one up this year as he's gone on the road to Louisville to win a couple weeks ago, and I just think he's got a better roster. And I do think still Dabo Swinney's a good football coach. In a rival situation, they're going to play spoilers to what South Carolina is this week.
Taylor Zarzer, Matt Stinchko, Melissa Lang on the call for this one, this upcoming weekend. Very interesting game. I worry about wagering on games like this because I don't know how motivated the teams are. Obviously, in a rivalry game, you're always motivated. Mm-hmm. You always want to beat the other side. But like when things go wrong for either side in this game, how do you respond to it? Do you get off the mat as quickly as you would if you were still 3-3 or 2-0 at the beginning of the season when you're staring down the barrel of a 4-8 season at the end of this thing? I don't know. So obviously not the season that Clemson wanted, certainly not the season South Carolina wanted either, but interesting game, always a solid rivalry, and Shane Beamer's kind of had Clemson's number. So we'll see. My first pick is in the great state of West Virginia. This is another game where motivation, I think, is a factor. West Virginia has nothing to play for. Texas Tech has a tune-up for the Big 12 championship game to play for, essentially. They are getting a 24.5-point spread in their favor. I love Texas Tech in this spot. Red Raiders are 10-1 against the spread this season. The projected score from Bill Connolly and the S&P Plus has this margin at 31.5 points. That is a touchdown more than what Vegas is giving me. I will take what Vegas gives me. Baron Morton and the Texas Tech offense, number 15 in the country, going up against the number 119 pass defense in Morgantown this weekend. I love Texas Tech minus 24.5 against the Mountaineers.
I looked at that one and wanted it because Texas Tech is so strong. But I passed. I thought the number was too big.
Very strong against the spread as well. 10-1 against the spread this season, Texas Tech. Vegas has not been able to figure them out. It's really rare you dominate Vegas that much in 1 year and make the house so much money. But it doesn't mean I can't benefit from it.
It's an early kickoff, too, 11 a.m. All right.
Justin, your second pick?
Ryan Day hasn't beaten Michigan since 2019.
Oh, you're going big on this.
This is rivalry weekend.
I'm proud of you, Hawk.
I ain't backing down. I ain't backing down like Florida did.
Yeah, unlike Florida.
Yes.
Ryan Day hasn't beaten Michigan since 2019. It doesn't matter how many games they win. It doesn't even matter if they win a championship. If they don't beat Michigan, that hot seat just keeps getting hotter. Ohio State is minus 10, and I'm going to take it. I'm going to take all the points. Okay. It doesn't matter if they're in Ann Arbor. The way that Ohio State's playing, sure, they haven't really played anybody this year. Julian Sayin, Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate, the way that defense is playing, I'll take it by 20 if I had to.
Wow. Okay.
Ohio State is going to get the win in Ann Arbor, and they're going to solidify themselves as the number one overall team.
I'm here for it, Hawk.
I did this last year. Otherwise, I'd probably do it again because, again, I agree with you on paper. It's the right pick. It's just rivalry weekend isn't played on paper. So this is a rivalry game that has burned me, I think, 2 years in a row. I think I picked Ohio State the year before last also, and obviously you know how that went for me. So
freshman quarterback versus freshman quarterback, I like the one in Ohio State.
Okay.
Understood. I like this. Oh,
fair enough.
My dog jumping out there.
Sayin is a sophomore, though.
Is he?
Yeah.
Retract that.
But still a good pick. I like both your first two picks. Ramon, your second pick.
This next one, man, is it's a toughie. But this coach told us about 3 weeks ago, I don't care if we get beat 103-3 against Miami. I just want these last two games. This Pitt-Miami
against Notre
game.
Dame.
Yeah, against Notre Dame. Yeah. This Pitt-Miami matchup is going to be fascinating. Narduzzi has made it a point to say the last 2 weeks matter, and he's proven that already. He goes down to Atlanta and beat my guy, Haynes King, on senior day.
Yeah, that was tough.
Smacked him.
Tough way for Haynes to go out.
Smacked him at home, man, and he stood on that one. Narduzzi may be weird. He says a lot of stuff. Babs says he's a very interesting interview. I'm taking +7 Pitt on this one. Also, I like to say weather don't matter because I played in cold weather, but I do know going to Miami and South Beach, it does get hot and humid, and it can affect you. Miami's going up to Pitt, playing inside of that stadium, and the weather range is between 24 and 36 on game day. I'm not saying the Miami boys can't handle it because football is just football when you snap the ball. But I do look at Narduzzi and say he's got a wild wizardry type of way of getting his teams right. And that +7 seems kind of rich. I do think this back and forth is going to be good. The last time they played, Pitt ended up smacking Miami 42-16. Last weekend against my guy Haynes King, Pitt ended up winning 44-16. Also, if I'm not mistaken,
it was
42-28.
There you go.
42-28 was their score. He's trying to at least punch their ticket to an ACC championship, or at least be in the conversation about, hey, we're in the graphic for the CFP.
He's got two scenarios, Pat Narduzzi, to take Pittsburgh to the ACC championship game and one game away from the college football playoff. He needs a win plus a Virginia loss to Virginia Tech, or a win plus an SMU loss to Cal, because that's a game in rivalry weekend, the old classic ACC showdown of SMU and California. Can't say that with a straight face.
You try.
Pitt has a chance, albeit an outside chance. Both of those teams, UVA and SMU, are both pretty heavy favorites in those two games. Virginia is really Virginia and SMU are the teams with the simplest paths. If they both win, they are both in. And it would be a Virginia-SMU ACC championship. Wow. The city of Charlotte is banging its head against a table, angry about the ticket sales of that.
You best believe it. But I'm rolling with Pitt on this one.
Okay. Pitt +7 at home against Miami. I do like home dogs. I am going to take Virginia as my second pick over Virginia Tech. Again, S&P Plus of Bill Connolly at ESPN.com has the projected margin of this game 22.2 points. Virginia is only a 10-point favorite. They clinch a spot, like I just said, with a win or SMU plus Pitt loss plus UNC win. Virginia has had some dramatic victories this season. 3 overtime wins this year, but they have the benefit of coming off of a bye week. Meanwhile, Virginia Tech just played Miami at home. Virginia Tech cannot throw the football. They are 117th in passing offense this season, and all they can really do is run it. Virginia, very good at stopping the run. One of the better run defenses in the ACC. They're 23rd in college football against a Virginia Tech running offense that is top 40 in college football, ranking 31st in the country. I like Virginia -10. Again, for seeding, for ranking, for proving themselves to the committee. I know their pathway to the playoff is just by winning the ACC. Yeah. I think they want to run it up on their rival. I care about those things when I see a 2-score spread. Do you want to stick it to your rival if it's a 2-score spread? And I think Virginia will be happy to do just that.
I'm there with you on that one. You have to in this situation. Last weekend, too, do it.
Justin, your final pick, please.
Oh, yeah, Hawk.
Another big one. I really wanted to do Vandy in Tennessee, but I'm not there yet. If we were Thursday, maybe. The Cascade Clash, or the Fight for the Forest, as it's informally named. It's Oregon versus Washington at Washington. And I'm going to take, I think the spread is -6.5. Unless
6.5, yeah.
Oregon is 7-4 this season against the spread. Oregon's got a top 5 offense, top 5 defense in the Big Ten. They just put up points like crazy after their victory last week over USC. Very impressive win, I might add. 42-27. They are a college football playoff contender, and they're going to do it here as well. Last season against Washington, 49-21 win in Oregon. They had 10 sacks. So it's not just their offense that can do it. It's their defense, too. They play complementary football, and I think they're going to do that here on Saturday as well.
Oregon is a sleeping giant in this football season, and I feel like because they have had the schedule that they've had, we've just forgotten about them. Especially in this part of the country, they're up there so far. They're just so far away from us. They're getting healthy at wide receiver. And DeCorian Moore is getting closer to returning from that knee injury he suffered in practice. Gary Bryant Jr. as well did not play in that USC game. He is starting to get healthy. We've not really seen Evan Stewart be the kind of impact player at receiver this season for them that we thought. A lot of injuries at wide receiver. Didn't matter last week. USC is a good football team. I think they proved that again on Saturday afternoon in Autzen. I think they put up a solid fight. And Lincoln Riley's got some issues that he's got to raise the profile of that program somehow. But I think that his staff hires were so bad at the beginning. He's still kind of making up for that now on the back end. But all of that being said, I respect that win that Oregon had over USC because I just respect USC. I think USC is a solid football team. And I think Oregon could be the Ohio State of 2025 in that they've not been healthy. They've really only been tested once and twice. Iowa was pretty good. And USC solid. But I think that they are a team that if they get healthy and it clicks again and Dante Moore can make some big plays as a young quarterback this time of year, man, I think they can beat anybody in the country.
Right.
I really do. What is your third and final pick, Ramon?
Man, I'm going up north to the Governor's Cup of Kentucky. Louisville versus Kentucky. Last year, Louisville won. It broke the streak that Kentucky had over them. I'm choosing the home dog up in Papa John Stadium, formerly known as that. And it's also this one, too. Sometimes you're just a better team. I love the fact that Kentucky's fighting for bowl eligibility with this game, and I feel like in a rivalry-type weekend, you shut out your opponents in these type of scenarios, and I think it's give me the plus 2.5 when it comes. No, minus 3 Louisville. I'm taking the home dog.
Right.
Taking the home favorite on this one, man.
Louisville -3.
Louisville -3 for the Governor's Cup. It should be called the Bourbon Bowl.
Oh, I like that.
It should be.
The Bourbon Bowl.
That is a much
Bourbon Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, they got the Bourbon Trail up there.
I know, and they play it this time of the year where allocated bottles are coming out. It just makes sense.
Does make sense. Lions -2.5 at home against the Packers, my final pick. It's Thanksgiving. It's the Lions holiday. I don't really trust the Packers. Lions 8th in the pass game, and Packers defensively 18th against the pass in yards per play. Good rush offense versus good rush defense on that side of the ball as well. Home crowd makes the difference. Lions are kind of doing this thing where they, every other week, will be pretty disappointing and then have a really good response to it. With their near loss to the New York Giants last week, they'll bounce back and have a better performance at home against the Green Bay Packers. I like 2.5 point spreads like this when I just think a team is better. Easier to cover a 2.5 point spread, obviously, because if you just win by a field goal late, that's all I need. So, Lions -2.5 at home against the Packers.
It's at home?
Yes.
It's usually an early kickoff, too, isn't it? About 11
Usually
Central?
the first one. Yep. Usually you're switching from the Thanksgiving parade to Lions football, which would be the case again.
Yes, I'll be turning it on, too. Have to turn it on.
Coming up, Tennessee basketball cruised yesterday, and they have a big challenge coming up. We'll talk about it coming up next.
This weekend at Genesis Diamonds, it's a massive Black Friday blowout sale on lab-grown diamond stud earrings. The most popular holiday gift is now at an unbelievable price, where you can get 2-carat lab-grown diamond studs just for $499. 3 carats, $799. Even a pair of 4-carat of diamond studs, just $999 at Genesis Diamonds. You've never seen certified diamond studs at prices like these. Other jewelers charge up to 4 times as much. But guys, this is easy. Stud earrings are the perfect gift also. They're classic, timeless, something she can wear every day or for special occasions. Imagine her opening a 4-carat diamond stud earrings for under $1,000. That's less than the other stores charge for 2 carats. But don't wait. This incredible offer is limited to the first 50 customers at Genesis Diamonds. That's 2-carat stud earrings for $499, 3 carats for $799, and 4 carats for $999. It's this Friday, Saturday, and Cyber Monday only at Genesis Diamonds. The store hours and more at genesisdiamonds.com while supplies last also, but see stores for details.
Hey, it's Will Bowling. Are you having home electrical issues? Well, available 24/7. The Lee Company team handles electrical problems and more in short order. From routine repairs on outlets and switches to fixture upgrades and generator installations, Lee Company's award-winning electricians will get the job done right the first time. Contact Lee Company for all your home electrical needs at leecompany.com. I love working with Lee Company because you hand them their to-do lists and they just get things done for you. They've got over 80 plus years of experience since 1944 helping Middle Tennesseans with their HVAC, their plumbing, their electrical issues around the house, with over 1,100 vehicles in their fleet as well. When you contact Lee Company, they're out there quickly. You're going to get the job done right the first time. It'll be fast, easy, efficient, with great service. Contact Lee Company for all your electrical needs at leecompany.com. That's leecompany.com to schedule with an experienced electrician. Lee Company, all you need. Ramona Will, 104.5 The Zone, fueled by Scooters Coffee. Wrapping up hour one. Going to do a big preview of Tennessee and Vanderbilt coming up in hour number two. Tell you where each team has an advantage when they have the football, and vice versa, of course. 615-737-1045, the number. Tennessee basketball, in their first game this season against a Power 4 opponent, just all over Rutgers yesterday. I don't know how much of the Players Era Championship or Players Era Tournament you guys watched yesterday. This thing's awesome, first of all. Tennessee and Rutgers started off. It was really the only blowout of the day and early afternoon slate. 85-60. Tennessee could have won this game by 50 if it really wanted to. It was 80-40 at one point. 56-30 at halftime. Tennessee shot 59% for the floor in the first half, 62% from three-point range, and Jacoby Gillespie was on an absolute heater. 23 of his 32 points in the first half alone. He was 4 of 6 from three. My favorite part about this first half, Ramon, was the way Nate Ament responded from being benched.
Yep.
Early in the game. Rick Barnes put him on the bench after he missed a three. Then he turned down a bunch of other open looks and essentially yelled at him and said, "You are the guy. Take the open shot.
Yep.
Keep shooting.
Yep.
You've got to be more aggressive." What did he do when he subbed back in at the 10:47 mark? Scored 17 first half points in the final 11 minutes of the first half. That is the switch we have been waiting to be flipped on, not only for Nate Ament, but for Tennessee basketball as a program and as a team.
He did the same thing, Rick Barnes, to Chaz Lanier last year.
Yes,
remember?
He did.
Chaz, again, comes in with the reputation of being a shooter. He wasn't as hot as he wanted to be early on, hit a couple in between, and then all of a sudden, Rick Barnes did that same thing. He don't cuss anything like that, but he gives a nice chewing is what he does. And you like to see the response. Like, that's what you're looking for. Nate Ament had that different look in his eye, too. I mean, and I want to give all the praise to Jacoby Gillespie and also Nate Ament. But I'm going to tell you the guy I'm ecstatic about, and I feel like I said it last week.
Felix?
You best damn believe it, man. Mm-hmm. Felix is fire hot right now. I know he only had 10 points on the day yesterday, but his rim protection, his ability to go up and go get the ball at any point in time. 200 blocks or 200 blocks he's had?
200.
200 blocks he's had in his career right now. I'm not sure what his NBA pathway is going to look like, but him being a rim protecting athlete that he is right now and having the ability to run up and down the court, and sparingly this year at least being able to shoot behind the arch, he's creating value for himself. But not only just that, he can be a headache to guys, man. It was fun watching the game. I listened to it a little bit because I was in the car yesterday. I was listening to The Zone as they were talking about it too, and it's fun hearing them do that thing. The rim protectors, the front court that they have right now is as solid as it gets. And when you got Gillespie and also Nate Ament doing their job, Abram didn't even have the game that you want him to have.
Yeah, Amari Abram didn't have to score as much. And that's the beauty, I think, of this team is beyond Ament and Gillespie. It can be any other guy at any given night that can pour in 10 to 15 points. You need that third scorer. The beauty of that, though, is that there are probably 7 or 8 guys who could be the third scorer. Amari Abram was that against Tennessee State. J.P. Estrella has been that at times this season. He was back healthy yesterday.
Did you know?
No, I had no idea.
I had no idea.
Well, Rick Barnes said to the media on, I want to say either Saturday or Sunday, whenever he did his pre-tournament media visit, he said, yeah, we're probably just not going to count on him for this week, but he's getting closer. And then him and Bishop Boswell were both in there yesterday.
Yeah, shocked the heck out of me.
Especially it was a very pleasant surprise.
He had that knee brace on right now. Just a little scared of it. I wore one on mine when I had my knee bruise. Also, it's a weird feeling.
Really?
It's a very weird
bone bruise
feeling.
Or having a brace
bone
on?
bruise.
Oh, okay.
The bone bruise is a weird feeling because it's, you know, you have a skin bruise and you tap it and then it starts to harden up a little bit. The knee kind of does the same thing. The bone does. It's just weird. He'll have that brace on probably till after Christmas.
Nothing easy for Rutgers on offense in the first half. Rutgers is a team, too, that struggles offensively. But at the half, they had more turnovers than made shots. That's a pretty good recipe to win a basketball game. 9 turnovers, 8 made shots in the first 20 minutes of that game.
I will say I do appreciate Rick Barnes' ability to get into the referees, too. They weren't, in my personal opinion, calling it fair up and down the court the way they were for Rutgers. It seems almost to keep them in the game, but Rick Barnes wasn't allowing that much at all. There were touch fouls. I felt like the Vols against Rutgers, but Rutgers was hacking the heck out of them yesterday, and nothing was called. So Rick Barnes, I hope he does that more. Good coaches know how to make that whistle go both ways, too, and I felt like he did that good enough early on.
I love the depth of this team, and it feels like Tennessee is going to be better positioned to still win on bad shooting nights. Because they rebound so many of their misses with their long front court that they're able to recycle the basketball and get multiple possessions within one. And 2, they just have the ability to get tough buckets, and they get to the free throw line more, and they're able to bang inside, I think, with anybody that they're going to see this season. Massive challenge for them tonight in Houston. 5 o'clock, the tip-off in Vegas on TNT against the Cougars tonight. Slay is joining us at 9:20 this morning. He typically does on Fridays, and we'll get a breakdown from him in the 4th hour. All of this feels like NCAA tournament basketball, and maybe it's just because it's TNT, True TV, and TBS that are broadcasting it. You've got a lot of the same broadcasters as NCAA tournament basketball. The presentation of it is similar, but even in the arenas, like it's like half empty, big Vegas arena with 4 fan bases of fans just sitting there watching the game. Like it truly feels like NCAA tournament basketball. The games have been close. If you've been watching these games the past 48 hours, there is a very good slate upcoming again today. So you've got Tennessee, Houston at 5. The other ranked matchups tonight, Michigan takes on Auburn at 7:30 in the Michelob Ultra Arena game there in Vegas. Maryland, Gonzaga, going to be a good one at 8:30. UCLA and Cal, that one's actually in San Francisco. That's not a part of Players Era. And then Alabama looking to bounce back from their 10-point loss last night to Gonzaga. An 11 p.m. start against UNLV tonight from Vegas.
You know why this is also going to be a good tournament, too? This Players Era tournament.
NIL.
Yes. The 8-team men's basketball tournament promises to pay $1 million to every school with another $1 million in cash split amongst the teams that finish the top 4. You're getting competition here.
Well, it's big that Tennessee won by as much as it did yesterday. Like the fact that Tennessee won by 25, I know they could have probably won by 45, but winning by 25 helps you get into that top 4 and get extra money.
Yeah.
At the end of it. Winning margin is a big part of it.
Pretty legit, man, if you're going to do it. I'm not sure if football will get to that point in sports where you're divvying up cash.
Why not?
But that's one reason to play hard and get a good showing.
It makes me sad for the Maui Invitational that is essentially not a thing anymore. Mm-hmm. But
it's in Vegas.
This is very good for the sport.
It is very
in my
good.
opinion as well. 615-737-1045. We've got some Titans tickets to give away coming up next. Stay tuned. We'll tell you how to win Titans and Jags tickets this weekend. And we're going to do something brave. Something very bold. We're going to talk about Shedeur Sanders when we come back.
It's Ramon Foster for Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Good people, if you got some last-minute things you need to be tidied up around your house that involves your heating or cooling or electrical or plumbing, go ahead and reach out to Hiller, man. I promise you, they are a company that you can trust. And it's for this reason, for me, the main part. Most of the time, you don't know what it will cost you or if it'll get fixed right. As somebody that's personally worked with Hiller, they have done everything that they said they were going to do. If there was a small issue, they came back and fixed it or fix it right there on the spot. And the price that you're told is the price that you'll actually pay. They have no issues whatsoever telling you what the service fee is going to be, what's the cost of the merch that you're purchasing to fix your home. All of it's outlined for you up front. No hidden fees or surprises when you get your bill at all. Hiller has been in business for over 35 years. They are family owned and operated. Their techs also very professional, experienced, and trustworthy. And here's the cool part. When that tech is on their way, there's a link they will send to your phone so you can track them in real time so you're not sitting around wasting any time, all right? 100% satisfaction guarantee of this. Happy you'll be if the service is free. Personally, I'll tell you this, man. If there's something you're not satisfied with, they will make it right or just simply give you your money back. To learn more about Hiller or to book with them, go to happyhiller.com.
7:01, good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. Week 12 of the NFL season wrapped up last night with Monday Night Football as the 49ers beat the Panthers 20-9. 5 interceptions thrown between Brock Purdy and Bryce Young, 4 of which came in the first half. Christian McCaffrey rushed for 89 yards, a touchdown, and also caught 7 passes for 53 yards in the win. The 49ers improved to 8-4 on the year. Number 17, Tennessee basketball in the Players Air Festival tournament in Vegas took down Rutgers 85-60. Guard Jacoby Gillespie had 32 points. The Vols back at it tonight with a big tip-off against number 3 Houston at 5 p.m. Central Time. Houston beat Syracuse yesterday in overtime, 78-74. You can hear that call on Vol Network, courtesy right here on 104.5 The Zone, starting at around 4:30. In NFL news, Bengals head coach Zach Taylor told reporters yesterday that he anticipates quarterback Joe Burrow playing on Thanksgiving Day in their matchup against the Baltimore Ravens. Burrow hasn't played since week 2. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, T. Higgins, who has a concussion, and Trey Hendrickson with a hip injury have both been ruled out for the contest. And Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski announced yesterday that he is rolling with Shedeur Sanders as the starting quarterback after the rookie won his first career start, despite the other fellow rookie, Dylan Gabriel, clearing concussion protocol. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Tuesday morning, Ramon and Will is fueled by Scooters Coffee, 615-737-1045. How you join us? 11-year NFL veteran, Vol Network analyst Ramon Foster, Justin Hawkins at the controls. I'm Will Bowling. Our big preview of Tennessee and Vanderbilt in 15 minutes, where the Vols and Doors both have advantages on Saturday afternoon in Neyland Stadium for Week 14 of the SEC and college football seasons. But it is a Titans ticket Tuesday. Got some tickets to give away for you Sunday. You may have some family in town. I want to go out and see Titans play the Jags.
I want to get away from family.
The way Cam Ward played this past Sunday, a winnable game. A chance to see a victory, chance to see a Titans home win, something that's not happened in a little while. Be caller number 5 right now to win 2 club tickets to see the Titans host the Jaguars this Sunday at Nissan Stadium. 615-737-1045. Caller number 5 wins 2 club tickets to see the Titans host the Jags this Sunday at Nissan Stadium. Best of luck.
Let's go.
615-737-1045. What's going on back there?
We're doing. I keep hearing a different sound, I guess.
Is there another studio that needs to turn it down?
It may be.
Okay.
At this point.
Did you not hear what I was telling you?
No, I did not.
I said maybe these fans can get in to see some zombie dances.
I think you said it, and it came over the studio speaker, I feel like, because Will got soundproof or noise-canceling headphones in because of the kind he have. And mine, I'm hearing the outside noise. I got to go to Brentwood Hearing also, too.
Come on down.
Got to get them fixed again.
Rookie Shedeur Sanders will start at quarterback in Sunday's Cleveland home game against the San Francisco 49ers. Kevin Stefanski announcing this yesterday. The 5th-round pick will remain the starter, even though fellow rookie Dylan Gabriel has cleared concussion protocol. 11-20, 209, a touchdown, and a pick for Shedeur in the Browns' 24-10 victory over the Las Vegas Raiders on Sunday. Ramon, what impressed you about Shedeur's debut? How impressed were you by what he was able to do individually?
The competitiveness that I felt like he was going to play with. I felt like in the moment, he was the quarterback that you wanted, right? And on the field, he was a guy that was searching, looking for stuff to make it his own when it comes down to him playing quarterback for them. Again, he didn't play a huge role for him. 11 for 20 ain't a great day for a quarterback, plus a pick that he threw in the second series that he was in the game. That plays a part into the full story, too. But here's what I will say. I don't think you got many antics while he was on the football field. I know a lot of people compare and, look at him and what he says pregame, postgame on social media and stuff like that, but he simply played his role. Now, here's the other side of it, though, too. If he's smart, he just do the small things and keep it very small for his career moving forward. Because when you got a defense that is playing at the rate that the Cleveland Browns defense is playing at right now, and specifically this past weekend against the Raiders, 10 sacks. Lord, what are we doing
It's
here?
insane. It's totally
10?
insane.
10.
I know Vegas has been really banged up on the offensive line. They just fired Chip Kelly as well, their offensive coordinator. My goodness, there is no world in which you should ever be taking 10 sacks.
I don't even know how to explain
You
that.
got to mess up a lot of stuff to take 10 sacks. And you've got to be a dang good defense in order to even take advantage of being in the position to have 10 sacks and then getting the quarterback down. Like, that is an unbelievable number.
It wasn't anything special. Like, that Vegas game was like the Titans game. Both teams are bad. It's just you were the better of the bad team, the way I viewed it this past weekend. Shador has a good arm. It looked like he's precise in what he's attempting to do, but he's going through the process of trying to make sure he don't make mistakes. It's the way I view his situation. It wasn't anything special, to be quite honest with you. It was a young quarterback being supported by his team. When you got Quinshon Judkins in the backfield, and also you can throw a wheel route to Dylan Sampson, ball. You can throw a wheel route to Dylan Sampson, ball. You can throw a wheel route to Dylan Sampson, ball.
Okay.
So like a mixtape.
No,
right
your
there.
radio is not skipping.
No, it was not. It was me on that one. But again, to see the afterburners that he put on for that touchdown wasn't anything crazy and stupid about it. It was very impressive. But again, I just want to say this too, and speaking about the support that Shador has. And I'm only doing this to highlight what one particular guy is to the NFL. Miles Aloysius Garrett. He's what he said he was going to be.
He's pretty good at this.
He's gotten better at it. He's expected to do certain stuff, and he does it.
There's no doubt he's the defensive player of the year this year.
It's flagrant.
No question.
If they had a winning record,
Yeah.
he'd probably be MVP conversation.
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
If they had a
I
winning
agree.
record.
I totally agree.
They're double teaming him. He's matched lunch pail, hard worker, blue collar with athleticism. I don't know right now, and personally, it's going to sound, I hope nobody hears this up in Pittsburgh when I say this, but at this rate, he's cooking TJ.
Yeah. Yeah, him and TJ Watt have been peers for quite some time. And there have been years where TJ Watt's forced fumbles and sacks and pure raw numbers have been better. But Myles Garrett, because of how much of a disruptor that he is and his just overall pressures, would win the award maybe with less black and white statistics behind it. It's been a lot of like, hey, PFF says ... And I know that's an age-old rivalry between Pittsburgh and Cleveland and between those two players as individuals as well. There is no comparison this year.
Not this year.
Myles Garrett has this season left him in the dust.
18 sacks, and there's 6 games left on the season.
It's insane. It is legitimately insane.
And you know he's coming, right? Like, you know he's on the way.
No, they watch film. Teams watch film and know what's coming. They just can't stop it.
So if Cleveland's offense and Shador just don't mess that up, like, you'll win football games.
Right.
Okay, like, 100%. I don't want to sound stupid or crazy,
and
but
Jim Schwartz is defensive coordinator. Like, if you just don't mess it up.
If you don't mess it up, he's got 18 sacks. Well, he's going to blow.
It's insane.
And he got the Titans on the schedule, respectfully, Dan, more than everybody else that's got to block him at home. But as far as Shador goes, that wasn't anything special. If I'm gonna be hard on what Cam was as a quarterback in his earlier year and how he started, like, Shador didn't really do a whole lot, to be quite honest. To get back to the point of it all, he won. That matters. But him helping them win, I didn't think there was anything crazy about his play that allowed him to just be, he should have been a Titans number 1 overall pick. That's what I will say.
Yeah, no, I mean, as a rookie quarterback, especially on the road, you get credit for not messing it up.
Yeah.
For winning a football game.
Very much so.
If it's one of 32 teams you're playing against, I don't care who it is, you get credit for not messing it up, especially considering what he's got to work with, Shador, on that offense. 11-20, 209 with 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Half of those yards came on 2 plays. Again, though, I'm not taking that away from him. He gets credit for that. The long ball that he had to Isaiah Bond was eye-opening. 52 yards down the field to the rookie out of Alabama and Texas. I thought that was impressive. Obviously, the 66-yard swing pass that you mentioned to Dylan Sampson, that's a quarter of his yards right there. I would just encourage fans to keep their powder dry, whether you are in Shador Sanders' camp, because there are a lot of people that anytime he gets out of bed in the morning. He's the best quarterback of all time. There are also a lot of people that anytime his feet hit the ground, they want to hate on the way that he walks out of his bedroom and brushes his teeth. He is a very divisive quarterback. He is a very divisive figure. It is hard to even really evaluate or criticize things he says in the media because everything is so edited and cut to make him look like such a character and such a caricature of, I think, the person that he really is. Mm-hmm. Some of that is under his control. And when he makes comments like, man, I did this with 1 week of practice. Like, I would pump the brakes on that a little bit. Yeah. But at the same time, that's after a 2.5 minute interview where he gives the glory to God, gives credit to his teammates. Like, you can't say Shedeur Sanders without 5 people showing up. It's like when you'd say Bloody Mary in a dark bathroom when you're in elementary school, and it just pops up in the mirror, just somebody yelling at you. Like, you can't say the words Shedeur and Sanders without 5 people who love him and 5 people who hate him just screaming at you. The discourse has totally jumped the shark on Shedeur. Good for him having a nice debut. Let's see what else he can do.
It was.
It's a wait-and-see method for me.
It really is. And, again, it was the first start. We'll see what he looks this next time around. I'm not sure who they have next week, but I don't.
San Francisco.
So that defense is going to get after him more than what the Raiders did. But, again, to add to it, too, it's 2 quarterbacks right now that have a bunch of stench on them, to your point about people ready to jump all over him. It is Shedeur, I feel like, and, how he's projected out there. And the other one I heard Brady Quinn speaking about this morning, 2 pros and a cup of Joe. That is J.J. McCarthy. This whole alter ego,
that brother stinks. He is so bad at quarterback.
Yeah, I heard him give the dialogue of what 9 means.
It is an untenable situation in Minnesota. He's getting essentially benched again.
Yeah.
He's in concussion protocol, so he had concussion symptoms pop up on the team plane ride home. Max Brosmer, I think, is going to start for them this weekend.
Yeah. He's not giving their head coach a chance at all.
You've got to be functional to a certain level to continue to grow and have chances to develop. We talk about Cam Ward. I think some people think that Cam Ward is J.J. McCarthy. Cam Ward has not been close to as bad as J.J. McCarthy has been when he's been healthy this year. And that guy's got Kevin O'Connell and Justin Jefferson.
A whole pro, every year wide receiver, right? And a run game that should be good, and an offensive line that's a supporting cast around him, too. Like, he's got the goods. He's also got Coach Brian Flores, as his defensive coordinator. So, like, there's opportunity and support and stability for him. What Sam Darnold did with that team last year, right? And to put it into his hands this year, a complete 180. This is almost flagrant for him, for a guy that talked a whole lot of trash and had scouring looks on the sideline last year as he was waiting this opportunity. Like, he had a whole red shirt year, and this is the year that you're giving us right now. And on top of that, like I said, the media spin that he's also had of saying he's got this alter ego thing is nuts to me. 9 is kind of how he says it.
You've got to actually be good to earn an alter ego.
Yeah, you can't.
He is terrible.
Thank you for saying that. You can't nickname yourself. That's like me calling out, just call me Big R. Like, no, you're Moan. Be cool, you savage. Like, I don't ask for those nicknames. You don't ask for Big Will. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just made that one up right there, but it could stick.
Okay.
Yeah, Will the Bully.
Yeah, that's a longer story. No, it's bad. He is. We were on the right side of history with that one as well. I never understood the J.J. McCarthy hype. Never understood
I think we believed in Yossi head coach more, though.
Yeah, you believed that there was a guy there that could be molded and turned into a starting quarterback. But,
yes. Whew. And Caribbean brings up Jordan Addison is also there.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you go down the list. Like, he's got help. He's got help. And it goes to show, again, like, just because you have good weapons and a good quarterback head coach, you still have to be a certain baseline level of talented that he is not.
It has to match. I agree with you there.
Coming up, we preview Tennessee and Vanderbilt. When both teams have the football, who's got advantages where? After this.
Smashville hockey. Around here, it can sound like a language of its own. But hey, if you can pronounce Demumbrian, then names like Yossi, Shea, and Marchessault will roll right off the tongue. Nashville Predators, only in Smashville.
One of the largest sports books east of the Mississippi, Circa Sports Kentucky, is now open. Catch all your favorite games on an 80-foot screen with stadium-style seating and live VSiN broadcast daily. Circa Sports, now open at the Mint Gaming Hall, Kentucky Downs.
My dad and I used to golf together all the time, but when he hurt his back, it was over.
To have your son want to spend time with you is amazing. That's why my chronic back pain has been so heartbreaking. Surgery, fused bones, long recovery. No way, not for me. A friend recommended stem cells, so I gave Kellum Stem Cell Institute a call.
I'm glad you're out on the course.
Yeah, it's really good.
Call the Kellum Stem Cell Institute today. Swing still looks just okay though.
Selling your home can be stressful, but it doesn't have to be. Get a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. There are no showings, no open houses, no stress. Work with the #1 real estate team in the U.S. and close with confidence. Go to markspain.com today.
Work. It's what we do. Part of who we are. There is joy in work. And no matter what size your business is, the dedicated commercial team at Two Rivers Ford will find the work trucks and vans that keep your business moving. And Two Rivers is the only dealer that offers a 90-day free fleet management program that can help you save money on every single mile. The Commercial Vehicle Center at Two Rivers Ford. We work for you.
Ramona Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee, 104.5 The Zone and 104.5 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. Opening your phone calls, talking Tennessee and Vanderbilt. 615-737-1045. Ramon Foster on the call for this one, which, of course, you'll be able to hear right here on The Zone with Mike Keith, Brent Hubbs, Jason Swain, Larry Stone, the entire crew. Vols and Commodores. Ramon, let's start from the broad point of view. Overall confidence level. Do you like the matchup for Tennessee against Vanderbilt this weekend?
Yes, I do. I view this one as the Vols have figured out better the last couple of weeks on how to play complementary football. The removal of Boo Carter, I think, has simplified what the secondary is capable of. I think guys' assignments of knowing when they're going to play, how they're going to play, has also been simplified, too, because of that removal. You get David Hobbs, who's discovered, of course, against New Mexico State, and even last week, too, that, hey, I am actually what they said I am. You see that come into it. I think the rotation that they have at the defensive line is good. And there was a lull that happened about the third quarter in that Florida game where they had a bunch of young guys in the football game and they kind of got exposed. That was also the young guys. They put the starters back in and they opened it up more so. Having had conversations with Ty Redmond.
Playing really good football right now.
He has been. And he's going to have to be very disciplined this week because the off-script stuff that Diego Pavia does and having the ability to create with his legs and having good vision down the field because his offensive line protecting him, you got to be disciplined. Can't get caught grabbing guys because your eyes are in the backfield too. But as far as being step for step with their speed guys on the outside, I think they can do that. The way it was Trey Richardson.
Trey Richardson, yeah.
Ran away from that Kentucky cornerback last week. That dude's feet was heavier than mine that played for Kentucky secondary, man.
Yeah, and Kentucky is just awful at defending in space in their defensive secondary this year. It is their kryptonite.
Man.
Tennessee exposed it. Vanderbilt exposed it. In a lot of ways, that's kind of Vandy's struggle on defense as well, is their secondary and defensive backs being able to defend on islands. Who do you think covers Trey Richardson in this game as kind of the speedy slot receiver for Vandy? Because you imagine Colton Hood is going to follow Junior Sherrill for a lot of this game. You have, obviously, Ty Redmond on the other side of the outside. You have Jalen McMurray, who's playing the star position now. Tennessee also played 3 linebackers a lot.
Yes, they did.
In that game against Florida. Do you see them continuing that trend against Vandy?
I do think you'll see some variation of that because here's the other part, too. If you have Jeremiah Thielander as your key and diagnose guy getting downhill, then you also have Spillman, you have Arion Carter.
It doesn't allow
for
Thielander to
coverage.
Get beat in space as much. He's a little bit more condensed and getting downhill versus having to move his east to west.
What I'd love to see is Jaden Perlotti in that Thielander role because of the speed. Because Thielander did get schemed up where he had to go on the tight end or wide receiver, if I'm not mistaken, and they beat him with a quick slant. I think he got him down, which I said on the broadcast, you got to tip your hat to that. But that was a scheme, and they exposed Thielander in that moment. If you had a faster athlete right there, I feel like you have a better opportunity to having an incompletion or at least making the quarterback go to a different option. But they kept everything in front of them. That's what that 3 linebacker group did against Florida this past weekend. And again, you cannot say as a fan of football that DJ Lagway isn't a threat to use his legs. And he was minimized this past weekend.
Oh, let's start there on the scouting report when Vanderbilt has the football. Vandy, 19th in total offense in college football this year, 9th in scoring offense, averaging 38.9 points per game. They are 16th best through the year, 283.9 yards per game. They rush for 174 per game. In his last 3 games against Texas, Auburn, and Kentucky, Diego Pavia has averaged 427 yards, 3.6 touchdowns through the air, 67.5 yards on the ground during that span, and has at least 1 rushing touchdown in 5 straight games. Pavia leads the SEC in touchdown passes with 26, quarterback rating at 174.2. He is second to Joey Aguilar with 2,924 passing yards while completing a league-best 71.8% of his passes. Where is Diego Pavia better or different, Ramon, this season than the version of him that Tennessee saw last season?
Protection, period. protection. Those guys up front that Vanderbilt have, I will admit, and I love to watch it when it comes down to how one group of five protect and move. And just being synchronized swimming is what it looked like with how they are, finding guys to block. And that to me is enhance his game. It's enhance his ability to scramble and do the thing that he does with the football in his hand. Hey, I'll run this, or, hey, I'll find a guy in the soft zone. I said to you on the break, like watching their offense, and I say this with a lot of respect because I know they practice this. I'd expect they practice. It ain't like Vanda inviting me to open practices and stuff. What I'm saying is I know this is their style. It is playground football. And that's not to disrespect.
It's not a negative.
It is get the football. If you playing zone, you better be real good. You better be quick because he'll sit back because he has that protection. He doesn't have to move off his spot unless he chooses to just 5 yards, bam, drop off to a tight end. Okay, 8 yards on the sideline, drop it off to a wide receiver. Or I'll run this because I know you got to sit back because my guys are some valid pass catchers this year. That to me has been the difference. He's only choosing to run when he wants to, not because he have to like he did last year, which led to him being exposed and getting beat up.
Tennessee's defensive front did a really good job against Vandy up front last year. It's part of the reason why Vanderbilt has fortified their front. Pavia has had a lot more help. MK Young, the really explosive threat running back, and some of the big runs he's broken off this season. Cedric Alexander, more the bell cow, still both behind Diego Pavia in terms of rushing yards with 661. After sacks, Pavia's rushed for 769. So the fact that sacks take away rushing yards from him make him look not quite as good in the ground game. 8 additional touchdowns on the ground. He has rushed the ball 40 more times than starting running back Cedric Alexander. I think Arion Carter, in the way that he played against Florida, is the perfect matchup to cover Eli Stowers. Mm-hmm. I think you trust, if you're going to go with the 3 linebacker set, Arion's probably the guy who ends up covering Stowers for some of this game. I think you also rely on the safeties at Andre Turrentine and Idris Farouk to do that. Maybe Jalen McMurray. But Eli Stowers, of course, the leading receiver, 57 catches, 705, 4 scores. Junior Sherrill, the Lipscomb Academy product, team high 7 receiving touchdowns, 8 total to go with 43 catches and 385 yards. The big advantage for Vandy on paper is in red zone offense versus Tennessee's red zone defense. Tennessee's 110 in FBS in red zone defense, allowing opponents to score 88.6% of the time. Vandy 44th. In red zone offense in college football, 88.5%. I'm curious what kind of tempo Vanderbilt tries to play with here.
Same. That was my thought. And because, also Tennessee's, before you go, response to it also.
Sure. Because Vandy against Auburn won that game because they started going fast. This is not a Vandy team that has to just play ball control now. Mm-hmm. I think Clark Lee may go into this game thinking, I've got to get to 35 to win this game. Because we're about to look at the matchup for Tennessee's offense against Vandy's defense. I love the matchup for Tennessee against what Vandy does defensively. I think Clark Lee and Tim Beck and Jerry Kill and Diego Pavia will also look and say, I also love the matchup for what Vanderbilt looks like offensively against who Tennessee has been at times defensively this year. The thing is, Ramon, if the Florida game is not fool's gold, if the Florida defensive performance for Tennessee can be replicated, I think Tennessee could win this game by 2 scores. That's just a really big if, and that also relies upon Tennessee not having major mistakes and turnovers on the offensive end that force the defense to defend with short fields. Because now we're starting to look at 3 or 4 games in a row where this Tennessee defense is playing a lot better football. They're missing a lot less tackles. They are containing mobile quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. This is a much more difficult challenge than what Florida was. I understand that. But I am encouraged by the improvements Tennessee's made defensively going into this game.
Yeah. Yeah, same here. That to me is the most settling thing, is watching them in New Mexico State. I know is a lesser opponent. right, when it comes down to their ability to play football against a big Division I school. But again, they contain their quarterback outside the pocket. You saw guys be quickly diagnosing when the quarterback was running the football. If Jaden Pilati lays a boom to a quarterback like that this upcoming weekend, and Diego Pavia, is going to be problematic. It might be a fight on the field. Also, here's the other part too, and Coach Heupel, in my personal opinion, has done a good job of keeping emotions in check. I thought against Kentucky he did too. That game got kind of spicy at times. I thought against Florida specifically this past week, with all the emotions of going down there to win football. Vanderbilt will bait you. And I don't say that in a bad way. Vanderbilt feels very good about what they are and the disrespect that they've had for years, even more so this year, too. There was a scuffle at the end of the first half in that Kentucky matchup that they just recently had. That, to me, is where your point, checking your emotions, not taking that late hit, that push out of bounds, or receiving one for Vanderbilt that's going to play a part, too, because if you can control the personal fouls in this matchup and just stupid plays that happen because, hey, we got to have this game. The Vols can't go in there thinking, oh, we got to have, and Coach Heupel and his staff also get tight. Is that part of it for this matchup, too? I'm into the psychological side of it because, again, if Vandy takes the ball and go down and score, Coach Heupel, what are you going to do? How do you respond? How quickly do you want to also score? Because looking at the way in which Florida played too high and Heupel took what was in front of them. If they do, to your point, blitz Joey Aguilar, how does Coach Heupel ask him to run this offense?
Well, and two, I think we saw an interesting wrinkle in the way Tennessee used its tight ends without Miles Kitselman being healthy as run-after-catch weapons. I think he adjusted some of that offense to allow Ethan Davis to get the ball in his hands in space versus trying to get it to Miles Kitselman, who is more of a possession wide receiver. Brent Hubbs wrote about this at VolQuest on Monday. Didn't see as many RPO looks from Tennessee against Florida.
Didn't have to.
You didn't?
Didn't have to.
You're running into so many light boxes that the decision was a bit clearer for Tennessee. That's the interesting question for Vandy is, do you trust your defensive line to slow down the Tennessee run game enough to give your defensive backs help? I think Clark Lee and Vandy is going to have to help out their DBs. That is the glaring weakness on this Vanderbilt team, and especially defense, is their secondary. Tennessee's ability to throw over the top of the Vandy defense. We'll talk with Chris Lee coming up about this at 8:20. Clark Lee defensively has not gotten it right against Josh Heupel yet. This Vandy defense and that scheme, there are just some programs who have figured it out. Vandy and Kentucky are the two really big ones, Ramon, that have not really had good defensive performances against Tennessee. Now, they've done so with big talent deficits. And this is the most talented Vanderbilt team that has played Tennessee maybe ever, because this is, without a doubt, probably the best team that Vanderbilt's had in 100 years. I'm not joking. One thing, too, is we kind of wrap a bow on Vandy on offense and move to when Tennessee is on offense. And this applies to both sides of the ball for Vandy. It's to your point about how they kind of want to get under your skin a little bit. Only two teams in the SEC have had more penalty yards per game this season than Vanderbilt, A&M and Texas. Vanderbilt is 106th in penalty yards per game in college football this season, 14th in the SEC.
Really? Going
into a hostile environment that is going to care more about beating Vanderbilt than any Neyland Stadium environment has ever cared. Truly, in the history of Neyland Stadium, I think penalty yardage and penalties and timely mistakes when Vanderbilt has the football is a massive, massive storyline in this game. Vanderbilt cannot go to Neyland, have 8 or 9 penalties for 60 to 80 yards. They average 63 penalty yards per game. They cannot afford to do that and win.
You can't. I 100% agree with you. I think it comes out regardless, though, because there's what was the summertime 30 for 30? No, the Netflix special. They're going in the locker room and they're saying, I hate this team, and the hate that came out. That's why I'm saying, like, the response to not responding to what Vanderbilt is going to do is a part of this matchup, too. I mean, we got tickets. The best seats in the house this weekend for that game is, what is it? I checked it last week. You're paying $1,300 a ticket. Like, that's Vanderbilt, Tennessee. The cheapest one I saw earlier, the lowest price is $140. This is not the case.
It's not normal.
This is not normal. And I love it, though. Because that's what, if we're going to be a rival, right, and need respect as far as either team in the CFP, these wins in this matchup has to play a part in it, though, too. If you're going to call this a rivalry, this is one of your big three that you're going to get every single year. Yes, it has to be this way.
I really think Tennessee has got to continue to tackle in space the way that it has the past couple of weeks.
That's huge.
There is no more important game to just make plays when they're given to you. That's what Vanderbilt forces you to do, is be sound fundamentally and not bust coverages in the run game or the pass game over and over and over and over. Interested to see how Tennessee plays pass coverage-wise. Do you take a chance playing man, understanding that if you don't get home, Diego Pavia is going to have the ability to run against defensive backs with their backs turned to the football?
Yep.
Or do you take a chance playing zone where your team has really struggled to not give up explosive plays all season?
That's where the three linebackers come into play to me personally.
That is a big concern for me in this matchup. And whenever Tennessee plays mobile quarterbacks, the way their defensive backs are playing this year, they gave up 2 busted coverages against Florida. Luckily, one of them, there was a holding penalty on the opening drive that brought it back. And then the second one was a touchdown.
It was.
To Jaden Ball, the one touchdown of the game that Florida scored, a busted coverage against zone. How many times have we said that this season about Tennessee? You've got to play zone a little bit in this game, or you've got to play man and get home against a pretty good Vandy offensive front. Your edge rushers, your defensive line, your benefit of having the snap count in your favor, being at home in this game. You're always at home when you play Vandy, but still being at home in this game even more so. Very, very, very important when Tennessee is on defense.
I'm trying to find the stat line real quick, though. But the other one I think that can be problematic for Diego Pavia is in big games. His ability to lose a football is problematic, too.
That's true.
Fumbles. Texas, Alabama. Did he have one against Auburn, too, if I'm not mistaken? Like, that's also a part of his game. Texas kind of put him on his heel a little bit with that RPO action and had a sack fumble situation on him, too. So that's something that I'm keeping my eye on, too. Can the Vols get their hands on the ball out of his hand quicker?
Diego Pavia went a long time until he had a 200-yard passing game against a Power 4 opponent. Now, after that drought was ended against Texas, he's had 3 in a row of 350 or more passing yards against Texas, Auburn, and Kentucky. A lot of those yards came late in that game against Texas, against a very cushioned defensive backfield that was trying to limit the big play and still couldn't, by the way. So credit to Vandy and credit for Pavia. But you still have to make Diego Pavia beat you with his arm in this game. You got to spy him. You've got to contain him. I think Tennessee at times gets way too vertical in their pass rush lanes, just going after the sacks and allowing room for Pavia to step up in the pocket. Big David Hobbs game for that reason. Because if Pavia steps up in the pocket, he needs to be stepping up into David Hobbs or Jackson Moy on the Tennessee interior of the defensive line.
Jordan Ross athleticism, Tyree West on the edge have to be good too. And again, the pump throws that Diego throws out there, got to keep your feet on the ground and attack them.
I love the matchup for Tennessee's offense against Vanderbilt's defense. I'll tell you why coming up next. Wrapping up the first half of the show very quickly this morning. It's gone by fast.
It was fast.
2 hours, just like that. On Ramon and Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee. Streaming live on 104.5 The Zone TV. You can get in on the Tennessee Vandy trash talk, of which there has been a lot on Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. The YouTube channel at 104.5 The Zone TV has been very active. I do hate, Ramon, that we only get 3 days to preview Tennessee Vandy every year.
I don't, because
Okay.
no. On this one, the Gremlins are out. Okay, all right. The Gremlins are out on this one. I'm seeing people in our chat I've never even seen before, just to be Gremlins. Okay, and
while you're there, subscribe, please, if you're new.
They're not. This group of Gremlins will not subscribe. I know that one.
Tennessee is 4th in total offense this season and 4th in scoring offense at 42.3 points per game. In all of college football, 4th passing, 37th rushing, against a Vanderbilt pass defense that ranks 113th in college football, 248.4 yards per game. They are 20th against the run, something to monitor. Vanderbilt, 42nd in college football, allowing 21.7 points per game, 55 in total defense. I like this matchup a lot, Ramon. A, because Clark Lee has not found the recipe to stop Tennessee on offense yet. I think secondly, Tennessee is well positioned in terms of what they do schematically to expose Vandy's weakness. Tackling in space, defensive backs covering dynamic, talented wide receivers. Vanderbilt has struggled to stop the pass this year, Ramon, but look at the pass offenses that they've played. Vandy has played some of the worst pass offenses in the SEC as a part of their schedule this season. They have played 3 backup quarterbacks just in SEC play this year. Now, they get credit for hitting the quarterback so much that when you don't protect your QB, you don't get to make excuses for, if he hadn't gotten hurt. No. It is very fair to say that you knock the quarterback out, you get to reap the benefits of that quarterback being out.
Yeah, you do.
No doubt.
Ain't no other way around it, man.
These are the ranks of where Vanderbilt opponents have been in passing offense this season in the SEC. Alabama is 3rd in passing offense. That is the only top 6 passing offense that Vandy has played all season at SEC play. The rest of them, Texas, who is 7th, LSU 10th, Kentucky 12th, South Carolina 13th, Missouri 14th, Auburn 16th. Really the only good running offenses that Vanderbilt has played all season at SEC play, Missouri. So I think their run defense statistic is kind of fool's gold. Yes, they've only allowed 105 rushing yards per game this season, but look at the run offenses that they've played. This is not a Vanderbilt defense that has played a very dynamic offense, with the exception of Alabama, Texas, who started to get hot a little bit as Arch Manning was playing at home in that game. But even Missouri, you saw Matt Zollers for the final quarter and change in that game. You only saw Lenora Sellers for a quarter and a half. You saw Cutter Boley, but that was a Kentucky defense that couldn't stop anything. You got the score separated, and then it was, a feast.
Yeah.
I think this is a really good matchup for Tennessee offensively. If the Vols do not turn it over, and if Tennessee avoids the stupid penalties this weekend, Ramon, I don't think Tennessee has trouble scoring 40 on Saturday.
It's gonna. But here's the other part to play devil's advocate on this one though too is, how settled will Joey Aguilar be as far as the blitz? Vandy's gonna send the whole brigade. Like, they are the Commodores. They're going to send everything they got to rattle him, because when you look at the times in which, as of late, earlier in the season wasn't so much of an issue. When you look at how teams have tried to get Joey off the spot, how they've run games up front to kind of free themselves. Stunts with the defensive linemen, TEs, ETs, fire zone blitzes off the edge and stuff like that. How is he going to be able to find his guys and not try to force it, which I feel like the last couple of weeks he has to. The Florida game, he didn't really do much as far as trying to find guys. But what I did like, to your point about Vanderbilt's ability to cover, is moving Joey left to right. Also having layer routes when it comes down to getting Chris Braslin into the game. The double reverse run that they had to Mike Matthews finding them. Braylon Staley didn't have to do much last weekend also. But the caveat to me is this. Now, since Miles Kissman is not in the lineup, you now have the ability of asking pass catching tight ends to do blocking tight end stuff, which also, when they're on the field, allows you to throw them the football. That, to me, is going to be the matchup. If Vanderbilt is aggressive up front and they're sending their linebackers on blitzes and they got to bring safety downs to kind of cover the tight ends, here's what I say to them. You better watch out for Ethan Davis, Deshaun Brame in this conversation. I do believe the run blocking tight end that they have, as far as Jack Van Dorselaer, has done a good job as a freshman this year. But watching the way Deshaun Brame and also Ethan Davis are matchup nightmares is unique. I'm excited for what that can be if those guys down the field aren't there and he's got to throw short and underneath to his tight ends. I like that idea. And again, the asking of me again this week, Will, Coach, if Deshaun's good, Bishop, let him ride.
100%.
Let him ride. Star
100%.
Thomas is good, too. I enjoyed what that was. I do think, and this is just me personal preference on this one, I do think when they put Peyton Lewis in, it kind of messes up that flow between Star and Deshaun Bishop. I like that matchup more without Lewis in it.
Yeah. But
that's just me.
Yeah, I think so, too. I do think one plus for Vandy, I think their edges are good run defenders. Corday Cinder and Miles Capers have combined for 17 tackles for loss this season. Two really good linebackers as well. I'd say running backs because Langston Patterson was a running back at CPA and a dang good one.
Yeah.
Him and Brian Longwell, the former rivals at Lipscomb and CPA, now teammates in the middle of that Vanderbilt defense. Vandy has allowed 210 and 170 rushing yards as of late in SEC play. 210 to Auburn, 170 to Missouri. Auburn, system-wise, is the closest thing that Vandy has seen to what Tennessee is and how they run their offense. It did not go well against them with Ashton Daniels at quarterback.
Yeah.
So we'll see. They did allow a season-low 31 yards on the ground in Kentucky last weekend. The way that Tennessee runs the ball and the way that Kentucky runs the ball couldn't be more different. So I don't think there's a whole lot you can cut and paste between those two. But I think Clark Lee will feel better about his run defense considering the way they played against Kentucky as they go to Knoxville.
The one game to watch that was on Vanderbilt's slate was the Texas-Vandy game at Texas this year. The way it was spread out, the way the defense, I feel like, is very similar. The quarterbacks both knew and how that game somewhat unfolded. I asked the question, now removed because you don't have to defend it and I don't either. But do you view that matchup as Texas kind of pulled back a little bit?
Yeah. Late in the game, yeah, they did. Okay. I think they took their foot too much off the gas. That was a blowout, and they got really conservative late, and it almost cost them the game.
Looking at this game is kind of what I expect the Vols to try to play it like.
I think both teams could score 50. I really do. I think this game could be 52-49, the same way that 2022 Tennessee-Alabama was. I don't think either defense will feel overly confident going into this game. I do think Tennessee is playing a lot better defensively than it was a month ago. We'll see if that continues against the kind of offense and the kind of quarterback that has given the Vols trouble under Tim Banks as defensive coordinator.
What's the mentality of Vandy, right? Smart, tough is what they're
physical.
Playing. Physical.
They're nasty up front on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, and that's where the Vols got to control themselves.
We wrap up the NFL weekend. When we come back, some headlines, a coordinator let go, a quarterback who will be back soon, and another one entering protocol and out this weekend. Halftime of the show as Hour 3 begins next.
8:01, good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. Week 12 of the NFL season wrapped up with Monday Night Football last night as the 49ers beat the Panthers 20-9. 5 interceptions were thrown by Brock Purdy and Bryce Young. 4 of them came in the first half. Christian McCaffrey rushed for 89 yards, a touchdown, also catching 7 balls for 53 yards as well in the win. The 49ers are 8-4. After a big 85-60 win over Rutgers yesterday in the Players Era Festival Tournament in Vegas, number 17 Tennessee Vols basketball is back at it tonight with a big tip-off against number 3 Houston at 5 p.m. You can hear Vol Network's call right here on 104.5 The Zone starting around 4:30. In NFL news, Bengals head coach Zach Taylor told reporters yesterday that he anticipates quarterback Joe Burrow, who has not played since week 2 after suffering a grade 3 turf toe injury, will play on Thanksgiving Day in their matchup against the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, T. Higgins, who is a concussion, and Trey Hendrickson with an hip injury have both been ruled out. And Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski is rolling with rookie quarterback Shadur Sanders as the starting quarterback this week after winning his first career start, despite Dylan Gabriel clearing concussion protocol. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Second half of the show, Hour 3, Ramon and Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee on 104.5 The Zone and streaming live on the 104.5 The Zone app and 104.5 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. He is 11-year NFL vet, Vol Network analyst Ramon Foster. Justin Hawkins makes the show happen. I'm Will Bowling. Chris Lee of Andy 247 joins us in 15 minutes. We'll dive into Tennessee and Vanderbilt from the Doors perspective. 2:30 Saturday afternoon from Neyland Stadium. Mike Keith, Ramon Foster, of course, on the call, courtesy of the Vol Network. Tom Hart, Jordan Rogers, Cole Kubelik doing this game on the television side.
It's going to be good. Cole going to give a good breakdown.
Always.
Yeah, no doubt.
In NFL news, wrapping up Week 12, the Las Vegas Raiders have fired Chip Kelly. Just 11 games into his first season with the organization, coming after a 24-10 loss to the Cleveland Browns that dropped the Raiders to 2-9 this season. Vegas tied for last in points per game, 15.0, 30th in total yards per game, 31st in rushing per game, 30th in offensive EPA, 28th in red zone efficiency. The Las Vegas Raiders have scored fewer than 10 points in 4 games. That is the most in the NFL. Geno Smith has been terrible, throwing for 2,300 yards, 13 touchdowns, 13 picks, a 66.6% completion rating, 29th in the NFL in passer rating, 32nd in QBR. Ashton Genty only has 3.6 yards per carry. What has surprised you about the way that offense is run this year, and what's most disappointing about the Raiders on offense this season?
Geno went from being one of the hottest quarterbacks in the land. Chip Kelly comes over from running a style of offense in college that college team hadn't seen. And I thought with the ability that he had, Geno, as far as, having some mobility, is Chip Kelly also not being the main guy in charge, that this will be an easy job for him. You went out and you got some wide receivers. You got one of the best young tight ends in the game. You go draft a run game with Ashton Genty also, and the offensive line is somewhat good. And it looks like this. Chip, you might just be college good, is the way I look. Like, this is the second time around the sun in the NFL like this? Like this, that world isn't for you is how I view it. And it's surprising that Pete Carroll, a Pete Carroll-led team got this bad that he had to fire one of his coaches in the middle of the season, whether it was him or the GM. That isn't, to me, Pete Carroll's style. So that ought to let you know how bad it was. There's no cohesion. They can't figure out a run scheme for Ashton Genty, which is probably the most flagrant part of it all. I don't know if he's a downhill power guy or if they're trying to make him an outside zone dude. And that's malpractice, which is why he's fired right now. Like, he seems dumb in the NFL, and I say that with all due respect because that's what he's presented to us. Chip Kelly, that is.
Yeah, they've had offensive line injuries, but that does not excuse being last in so many different categories with a veteran starting quarterback who is a proven commodity in this league.
Yeah.
It's been rough there. I'm very curious to see where he goes next.
Chip.
Yeah. I mean, I almost wonder if Brian Hartline, the Ohio State offensive coordinator, does get a head coach job this cycle, I almost wonder if he just goes back to Ohio State and gets back together with Ryan Day.
That's almost begging at this point.
Well, I mean, why not?
I know what you're saying.
He'd rather do that than be a head coach, clearly, because he left UCLA for that job.
To your point, that makes the most sense for him. Like, what they had there was phenomenal. There's no other way around how they had it. And then, of course, Chip has the ability to get the guys that are the best in the college world with that mindset, too. I'm not going to today be the ultimate hater and say what the Big Ten is, but he's got an easier pathway of playing Northwestern.
Yeah, it's like a 2-game season
versus Kansas City, Denver,
for sure,
and others. So to that point, he could go back there.
2-game regular season, Big Ten championship, and playoff run.
Does he involve?
Pretty good job.
Does he involve himself now because he's got the ability to go get one of these head coaching jobs?
I don't know if he wants one. That's the whole point. He had a Power 4 head coach job, but he gave it up to be the offensive coordinator at Ohio State.
That's tough.
Yeah.
I personally, I look at this and say, well, Florida, Drinkwitz and him down in Florida together. Like, those are the types of places I see him going.
I think he'd have to be with a more defensive-minded guy. Like, the fit I think would be interesting is at Auburn.
At Auburn?
John Summerall pairing up with Chip Kelly. I don't know if those two have any background together. I mean, Ryan Day didn't have a ton of background with him either. I mean, I guess they did a little bit from their college days, but I don't know. We'll see. So, interested to see what they do. I don't think Drinkwitz, or a guy like that who is already running his own system, is humble enough to give up the keys to somebody else like that.
I'm glad you put it out there like that.
Yeah,
humble enough to handle it.
Baker Mayfield has a low-grade sprain in his AC joint in his left shoulder, no additional damage, according to ESPN's Jeremy Fowler on Monday. An additional source told ESPN the general feeling is that Baker Mayfield is pretty fortunate to have not sustained a more serious injury. Injured in the Bucs' 34-7 loss to the Rams on Sunday, their third straight loss, dropping them to 6-5. Baker Mayfield has never missed a start in his 3 seasons in Tampa, starting all 45 regular season games. The last time he missed a game to injury was with the Panthers in 2022 when he had a high ankle sprain. The last time Teddy Bridgewater started a game was in 2022 with the Dolphins, 23-21 at the New England Patriots. How panicked should Bucs fans be about their third loss in a row at the hands of the LA Rams over the weekend?
They should, because that's and it also depends on their goals at the end of the season. Do they think they have a real shot at getting into the race and being a Super Bowl team? I felt like earlier this season they looked like it, but right now the panic should be setting in, that the fact that Baker can't find an answer. That game this past weekend, they were all over him. I don't know what he was. He looked like the Cleveland Browns version of Baker Mayfield this past weekend. They swarmed him. They were the better team. Like, looking at what that matchup was against the Rams, he had nothing.
It was dominant.
They had nothing.
Totally dominant.
It was scrambling for nobody down the field. Everybody was covered.
Yeah.
And yes, Will, to answer that, they should be worried.
3 losses in a row for Tampa, 28-23 at home to New England. 44-32 on the road against Buffalo, 34-7 on Sunday Night Football, with Baker Mayfield only playing half the game to the LA Rams. I still think they are a contender. They're just the same team every year. They're going to win 10 or 11 games. They're going to win the NFC South. They're probably going to lose a first-round home game to a better team that was in a stacked division as the 5 seed, and that'll be it. I do think that the Rams are the best team in football. I think in a year where there is a lot of change and a lot of long-standing contenders are down, when Matthew Stafford and Puka Nacua are healthy, Ramon, the Rams are the best team in this league. That's just not always a given. Puka Nacua has been hurt at times through his career. Matthew Stafford, obviously with the injury concerns that he's had with the age that he has now, and one kind of bump or bruise lasting a little bit longer. Mm-hmm. That defensive front, though, is unreal. And the secondary is what it is, but with that defensive front, there are a lot of secondaries that are going to be really successful. Yeah. I think Chris Shula is a strong Titans head coach candidate as well. The Rams defensive coordinator, you're going to hear that name a lot over the next couple of weeks and months. Rams are the best team in football right now to be in. I don't think there is really an argument to be made for anybody else other than maybe New England.
And Devontae Adams looks good.
Yeah.
He's beating people again.
Right.
Run game check, offensive line check, quarterback play check, and defense. You mentioned just a second ago, like that. As quick as they rebuilt that defensive line after, Aaron Donald retired, needs to be a study. And I know everybody, we wanted Braden Fisk. Yeah, I get it. To Vondre Sweat, I think watching Braden Fisk excel and be a threat and be a disruptor, that to me is his comparison to where I feel like you should want him to get to.
Which is funny because him and Devondre Sweat probably have 70 pounds of difference between them, but they're supposed to be the same kinds of players, right? Interior pass rush, fast twitch, get vertical, and also help in the run game.
Even if you're not making the play, you're disrupting the play, and that's what Braden Fisk has the capabilities of doing.
Ali is in Nashville, 615-737-1045. Good morning, Ali.
What's up, guys? How are y'all?
Good. How are you?
Ali. Good morning.
Good. All right, I heard you talking about Chip Kelly back to Ohio State. Under no circumstances is he welcome back in Columbus.
Wow.
After losing the game last year, when they had the worst corners in the league, like the worst corners in the Big Ten, and Chip Kelly did not want to attack the passing game with Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate, Emeka Obuka, and just was adamant of running the ball after what happened last year at the game. Under no circumstances should he ever be considered back at Ohio State. We don't want him back under any circumstance.
So how's the offense this year without him? Just to ask that question.
Way better.
It does it?
Way better.
So the playoff run that he had was a 1 of 1. You don't see that happening and how surgical the offense was?
So, Ramon.
Yeah.
I don't care about the playoffs. It's about that game.
Oh, wow.
That game last year, he lost that last – yeah, we won a natty and stuff. That was nice and all. But losing to that team up north, it's not acceptable.
Wow.
And the play callings that he had and the old defensive coordinator we had who is getting fired now to State. But it's just – no, he's under any circumstances will he be welcomed back in Columbus.
All right. I didn't think that was going to be the case.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I'd rather win a national championship than beat my rival, but it's a little different up there.
I'm telling you, they care about one game and one game only.
Well, I mean, they care about more than that. I think the last season, we talked a lot about it when it happened. They tried to embarrass Michigan.
Yeah.
And they got away from what they actually do best, which is throwing the football and, using like the best college receiver in the last 20 years in Jeremiah Smith. They tried to literally physically impose their will on their biggest rival because they wanted to beat them so badly that they got emotional about it.
Yeah.
I think it's tough to minimize Chip Kelly's entire legacy at Ohio State to that game. It was a bad game, but he still won you a national championship.
Ali, I get what you're saying. Like, you care about that game, but that run in the playoffs, that's elite.
No doubt.
They just want to fire the coach after that game, not the national championship game.
That's silly.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Lee of Handy 247 joins us. Coming up next, we'll get the Vanderbilt perspective on Vols indoors after this. Hey, everybody wants to move to Nashville and Middle Tennessee. This is a hot real estate market, but if you're looking to sell your home, you need help. You need a local agent with years of experience who cares about you, cares about your goals, cares about Middle Tennessee. Let me introduce you to my good friend, Bernie Gallerani. Hey, it's Will Bowling. Don't rely on that national agent that doesn't know you, doesn't know the neighborhood, doesn't care about your goals, your timeline. If you got to move in a quick amount of time, Bernie is the guy for you because he guarantees to sell your home in 30 days or less. No risk to you. Bernie Gallerani will let you out of the contract at any time. He is the real estate agent who has the 30-day guarantee to sell your home. If not, he'll buy it from you. It's that simple. Call Bernie Gallerani at 615-428-2644. Check out his website, BernieGallerani.com, or just Google Bernie Gallerani Real Estate. The only real estate agent I have personally endorsed on this show. Bernie is going to get you results. Call them 615-428-2644 or head online to BernieGallerani.com. As we continue to break down Tennessee and Vanderbilt, we go to the very best source on the doors this morning here on Ramon and Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee with Ramon Foster. I am Will Bowling. Pleased to be joined again this morning by our good friend Chris Lee of Vandy 247. Tennessee and Vandy, it has never been bigger than this one. That is coming up in Neyland Stadium this weekend. Chris, good morning. How are you?
Morning, Chris.
Hey, good morning to you guys, and happy Thanksgiving, by the way.
You as well. Thankful to have you on. Thankful to get the Vanderbilt perspective on this game, Chris. Let's start with the positive from the Vanderbilt perspective. What do you like about this matchup for Clark Lee's Commodores this weekend?
Well, I think you have to start internally with Vanderbilt before you look towards the matchup. And right now, their offense is just producing at an unbelievable level. I mean, I sit in the press box and try to take notes and things like that. And I mean, they are scoring so quickly. You know, they've run two big plays and are lining up for an extra point before you can even type it down. I mean, they are, I think, right now number one in the country in yards per play. I may need to get fact checked on that, but I think they moved ahead after this weekend. And I think defensively, I had heard that they were very, very banged up on the defensive line and in the front seven going into the Auburn game, and it showed. They were not good at all, and I think that was a big concern for me and a lot of people. And so they had a couple of weeks off and got to reboot, and you look up, and Kentucky doesn't break 100 yards of total offense until, the last play of the third quarter? I mean, the 17 points and the yardage totals end up being misleading. I think Vanderbilt was over 500 or so at that point. I mean, so I think you look at them offensively, and it is clicking, maybe like nobody's offense in the country. And defensively, it felt to me like they maybe fixed some things that needed to be fixed with some help and just with some simplification of schemes, as Clark Lee had outlined in his press conference that week.
Chris Lee, Vandy 247, our guest, breaking down Tennessee and Vanderbilt. It's so interesting, Chris, the tempo that Vanderbilt has used at times on offense this season, because last year it felt like they had to be a ball control team to where they were playing keep away, and at times they've been that this year. But against Auburn, it really felt like when they were forced to go faster and play from behind, they kind of found something with that more up-tempo offense. How do you think that works in this game, where Tennessee will like some of its matchup as well on offense against Vanderbilt defensively? Clark Lee can make a decision to say, do I play keep away from the Tennessee offense, or do I know, hey, I've got to score maybe 35, 40 points in this game to feel really comfortable and try to match Tennessee offensively? Because it feels, Chris, like Vandy is good enough offensively to be able to do either of those things.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great point. I've watched them go tempo at spells this year, and I'm like, man, they are so unbelievably hard to stop when they do that. But, of course, the reason you don't a lot of times is to keep your defense fresh. And Clark Lee is a defensive coordinator by nature, and so I know he takes a lot of pride in that side of the ball. And with the defense having had struggles earlier, you would get why you would want to. But, man, they are they are just about as close to unstoppable when they go tempo as I've seen. On the other hand, you've got a program in Tennessee that has built its brand on that, and that's where Tennessee has succeeded. And so it kind of becomes almost a heavyweight fight of, the team that hasn't done this but is elite at it when it does it, with the team that's built its brand on it. So I don't know how that resolves, but I mean, you could be looking at a basketball score type game. I mean, you're saying 35, 40 points. I mean, that might be the floor for the loser in this one.
Agreed.
No doubt about it. Chris Lee of Vandy 247 with us this morning, talking the Vols Vanderbilt matchup this weekend. Chris, when you look at this upcoming game, man, there's a lot that has to be discussed outside of just the football. And we got a little bit of it of the Netflix series that came out about the SEC. The hate in this matchup is as pure as it gets this year. The talking that we've heard, I'm sure that you've heard on your end too. Man, if you could just talk about the theatrics of what this weekend means to both sides also.
Well, yeah, I mean, you look and you've got a game that's always been a rivalry, and to be honest, Vanderbilt's not always done its part in the rivalry. And you look up last year, Vanderbilt was having a good season. Tennessee needed to win that game to go to the playoff. And so now the shoe's on the other foot. And who would have ever thought that? You'd have a point where you had a Tennessee-Vandy game where, one team is playing for a playoff one year, and then the other team is the next year. And by the way, in both cases, it's the road team that's playing for the bigger things. But, yeah, it's a stage we've never seen. These two teams don't like each other, I don't think. I don't think the fan bases like each other. You've got the additional dynamic of, one of Vanderbilt's better defensive backs was playing for Tennessee last year. I don't know where that factors in, but Jordan Matthews will, I think, play a prominent role for Vanderbilt on Saturday. And oh, by the way, in addition to that, we're bringing people's moms into it too now, apparently.
Yeah.
100%. You got some of the college game day guys asking not to pan the camera to anymore. Kirk Herbstreit is weird.
Right. I don't know. I think we could maybe do a little, no shade toward that. I don't know. It just feels like that dynamic has gotten a little bit to where it's, I don't know the word. It's edgy for sure.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. And I don't know. I don't have anything against the Pavia family, but it just is, I don't know. It just feels like maybe we're about to cross some lines there that we just don't need to cross.
It's selling a narrative that people have tried to protect in the last decade or so on national television is what you're saying. And that is a 3-letter word, SEX, and we kind of want to keep that off the TV, right?
Not great.
Yes. Moving on. Clark Lee's defense, man, is his calling card, and it's fun to watch him because in tight moments, he's going to send the house. And I'm not sure the corner, the safety's name with the big blonde hair, man, but he comes downhill fast, man. Just how much pride is Clark Lee taking in that defense, man, and their ability to kind of support Diego Pavia in that offense this year?
Well, a lot. He was, like I said, a defensive coordinator by nature, and that's been the side of the ball that's been weak lately. And again, I think health helped them a lot against Kentucky. I think he talked about simplifying things. I think you saw some other things. You saw, more aggressive play out of the corners. Vanderbilt had 3 picks last week, and I think, one of them, Martell Height, made a pretty aggressive move on. He had 2 of their picks. A couple of them were just maybe poorly thrown balls, but I think that's going to be a dynamic that's interesting to watch, guys, is that Vanderbilt really had, the defense was kind of a bend but don't break approach, and it had been breaking, and it also had been forcing turnovers. The reset against Kentucky and against an offense that had been playing pretty well, to be honest with you, in at least maybe all 5 of its previous games coming into Vandy. Vanderbilt both didn't give up yards until the fourth quarter, and it forced turnovers. So I think that the simplification of communication, which is what Clark Lee was kind of hinting at that they were going to do, more than hinting at it, he flat out said it. It felt like they found some answers against Kentucky. Now, having said that, I don't know that there's a coach in the country that is better at drawing up schemes and plays than Josh Heupel. I remember last year, Tennessee really the last 2 years at home particularly, Tennessee was really able to burn them in space. And sorry for getting on a little bit of a tangent here, but you go back to Texas a few weeks ago, and that's what Texas did. Arch Manning was not throwing the ball, way down the field. He was getting the ball on screens and things like that, and Vanderbilt just couldn't tackle. Kentucky tried the same thing a lot last week, and it didn't work. So, I'm very interested to see how that goes because Tennessee's got 3 elite receivers. They're a headache for anybody, so Vanderbilt's going to have to lock it down. And the other thing, guys, is Tennessee has really had so much success with just the deep passing game down the middle of the field. That's not really a place where Vanderbilt struggled this year. I think Tennessee's good enough to make anybody struggle in that game, but there's some really interesting things here in the Tennessee offense versus Vandy defense dynamic that I'm really curious to see how they play out on Saturday.
Chris Lee, Vandy 247 with us. And Chris, that's where I was going next, because we've spent time with you talking before about how what Tennessee does offensively exposes things that Vandy has struggled with defensively, and tackling in space and taking good angles and getting guys on the ground, which ironically is what Tennessee's kind of struggled with defensively this year too. How much does the history of Clark Lee defenses against Tennessee matter? Because it feels like there are some defensive coordinators and schemes that have had Josh Heupel's number. Kirby Smart, it helps to have really good football players, of course, but Kirby Smart has gotten it right. Other defensive coordinators have gotten it right. Then there's programs like Kentucky. Mark Stoops has a really good defensive coach and team. They have never just laid a finger on Tennessee. And Vandy, albeit with a talent deficit, has been kind of the same way. Tennessee has had Clark Lee's number just in terms of the scheme and the way things have set up. How much does that matter? How different is this Vanderbilt defense to past defenses that have played against Josh Heupel offenses?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the question of the game right there. I do think, some of it is just Tennessee has athletes in space, right? And when you get those guys in a foot race with a little bit of an angle, and so part of it is scheme, right? You're setting your guys up to take advantage of what Vanderbilt doesn't do well. And then once you've done that and you've completed the pass, you're just letting your athletes take over. And I think, it feels like Tennessee has still got an edge there, right? But I don't know that it's the edge that it was the last couple of years ago. I mean, let's go back to, what would it have been? 22? I guess the game where Vanderbilt comes in, has got a shot to make a bowl, and Tennessee just blows Vanderbilt's doors off.
Yep.
And you could see that the athleticism edge in that game. And you could see it a little bit last year too, but it wasn't as much as it was 2 years before. And I think this year, look, they are not, an Ohio State elite defense with athletes and a bunch of NFL guys, but they're not what they used to be either, where you didn't have anybody on those defenses that was going to play in the NFL. Now you got some guys, I think, that will get drafted or go to camps. And so they've closed the talent gap a little bit more. So to me, I think the question is, they're not going to go a whole afternoon without holding Tennessee down with big plays. I mean, if they do, I'd be shocked. But in what you did with your scheme, which, again, worked against Kentucky, and you kept probably their biggest playmaker, Kendrick Wall, really quiet. He's a kid that went to Alabama. He's a kid that's got the kind of athleticism that Vanderbilt's going to see out of Tennessee's big three. So you saw them do it a little bit last week, but you did it against one guy. Now you're facing more guys. So how does everybody handle it? That's question number one. So I think, to me, it's how much have they closed the gap there? Because I don't think they're going to go in and win a 24-21 type game.
Right.
I think it's going to be more like you might see both teams break 40 in this, and it's who can get the last stop. And I do think that's where Vanderbilt may have something. They're not going to get stops all the time, but I think they might be equipped to get more stops with just an upgrade in talent than they have been in the past.
Chris Lee, Vandy 247, our guest. Chris, where are we at in a Clark Lee extension timeline? I know there have been some high-level meetings. There have been some conversations over there as the Lane Kiffin domino gets a little bit closer to falling and maybe forcing some of these teams to go to their second options. Where is Vanderbilt at in locking Clark Lee down?
Well, Clark Lee said yesterday on Outkick, and there's been a rumor that the deal has been done since a week ago. And I think somebody likened it to me like closing on a house, right? Like you've agreed you want to buy the house, and, it's just now like, okay, well, there's a leak in the sink, and it costs $500 to fix it or whatever, or something on the roof that's a couple $1,000, and maybe you're haggling over, who's going to pay for that?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's that simple or not, because frankly, I would have thought the contract would have been done by now. I think you have one side that has kind of said, "Hey, look, and Clark Lee's a Jimmy Sexton client, right?" So I think that's part of it. Like Jimmy Sexton is always going to use these things to drag him out. You look at his other clients. You got Lane Kiffin is one of his clients. You got Eli Drinkwitz is one of his clients. It feels like all the coaches that have been on the carousel that have settled with contracts were non-Sexton clients. And Sexton's guys are kind of sitting out here going, okay, what else can we get to learn? We drag this out. So I think that's one side of things. I think the other side is I do wonder, because this has gone on longer than I thought, I think it's affecting their pursuit of Jared Curtis, who a lot of people think is going to flip the minute that Clark signs a contract. I'm not telling you that's true. That's not true, but that's been out there for a bit. So I'm interested to see, like, because one understands, I think the salary for him and the contract terms, he's okay with. It's just that other stuff, and he talked about it yesterday on Hot Mic. He didn't go into specifics. I'm trying to kind of get some sourcing together on my end to figure out what those are. I don't know, are those academic things? Are they timelines with facilities? I don't know what they are, but it feels like there's something that's holding it up. And frankly, if I'm Clark Lee, that's exactly what I'm doing. Because at Vanderbilt, when you need stuff and you're going to get stuff, this is the way it always has to go. Nobody's going to sit there just with their hand held out to Clark and go, hey, buddy, blank slate today, what would you like?
Sure.
This is what you have to do. You have to negotiate when you have some leverage. And I think the stalemate, I don't know if it's academic stuff, it's facilities, but there's clearly something that is getting this held up where he's not going to sign until he's satisfied. And frankly, I think that's what he should do.
Chris Lee has been our guest. Vandy 247, the very best covering Vanderbilt athletics at Chris Lee 70, where you get him on Twitter. Great stuff as always. Chris, we're excited about this game. It is good for the sport. It is good for the sport in this state that this game matters as much as it does. We're excited to know you are as well. Thank you as always for the time. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, Chris.
Yeah, thank you guys. And again, happy Thanksgiving to you and your family.
Man, same to you.
You as
I
well.
hope you enjoy it.
Thank you, sir.
You bet.
Chris Lee with us here this morning, breaking down Vanderbilt in Tennessee.
He's so informative with it, though.
He does such a good job. Such a good job.
Wow.
Let's open it up to the phones. I'm not going to be here tomorrow, so if you want to yell at me about Vanderbilt, Tennessee, you got 1 hour and some change to do it. 615-737-1045. I'm curious where confidence level is, Ramon, for both these fan bases. Vandy fans, Tennessee fans, we want to hear from you. How are you feeling heading into this matchup? 615-737-1045. We'll let you all respond coming up next.
It's Ramon Foster for Medical House Calls. Good people, you may need them this week, man. The website is medicalhousecalls.com. They're available to you 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Same-day appointments are available, next day guaranteed. And I'm here to just tell you the reason I say you'll need them is this time of the year, man, sicknesses kind of come up, those infections, just those colds and just nastiness of germs this time of the year. And you want to be around family. You want to have the holiday time with them. And sicknesses kind of ruin it for everybody, man. But also you can use them for IV therapy, man. Whether you are working out and trying to get back to the best you are fighting the flu, or you need a performance-enhancing cocktail, or you just simply need some hydration, because I was told the Wednesday night before Thanksgiving is by far the biggest party night of the year, and you don't want to be sluggish around grandma and mom and dad. So go ahead and get that rehydration, man. Medical House Calls will come directly to you and set you up to have you feeling your best the very next day, man. This is just what they do. They make it easy for you. It's a concierge for medicine, and they want to make sure that you are, and you know you are a first-class client whenever they come to your house. Whatever you need, they have for you. Just a simple call, text, or usage of the website will give you exactly what you want. It's the convenience that you're asking for, and they deliver every single time. Their nurses and doctors that come to your house are fully certified, some of the best around, at simply wanting to make sure that you have medicine care at your disposal. Website is medicalhousecalls.com, or you can call or text them at 615-838-2375. And make sure you tell them that Ramon sent you.
Wrapping up hour 3 in Ramon and Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee. Open to your phone calls. How you feeling ahead of Tennessee Vanderbilt? Game of the weekend. We're spending a lot more time on this and on college football than we normally would, considering you got two fan bases represented here that want to win this game badly. Vandy, first ever chance to get to 10 wins. Tennessee, a chance to get back to a good Florida Bowl and keep their rivals out of the playoff. Let's go to the phones. Jerry is in Nashville first up. Good morning, Jerry.
Good morning, Jerry.
Hey, Mr. Foster.
Good morning, Jerry.
Hey, I respect Tennessee, and I ain't down in y'all any kind of way, but I'm a Vanderbilt fan, and I got to tell you this, sir. I changed y'all's theme song. It's West End will always be home sweet home to me. Good old West End, Tennessee. Hey, I tried to get a hold of you yesterday. I figured y'all would get a kick out of that.
Jerry, I got to give it to you. On the spot, that's real good right there. But, Jerry, I just want to know where you've been the last 5 years I've been doing this job, man. It's my first time hearing from you, Jerry. What's the problem?
Hey, I've been a Vanderbilt fan all my life. I got a tattoo on my arm. You better hope we don't win a national title. I will come down there and show you your tattoo on my back.
I hope so. I hope it's on the lower back, too, man. I really do hope it's on the lower back.
No.
Tramp stamp Vandy V. That's crazy. Is it the Star V or is it the new one, Jerry?
No, it's their logo, the star. And hey, but I listen to you guys every day, man. I really do.
Hey, Jerry, let me ask you something real quick, man. We had somebody tweet us and said we were being disrespectful to Vanderbilt on the radio today. Would you say that's true or false, man?
No. No, y'all are not. Y'all giving us prompt. And no, y'all not disrespectful in any kind of way. Win, lose, or draw. I'm a winner Saturday. Win, lose, or draw. I'm a winner.
I will say this, though, Jerry, for y'all. Appreciate the call, man.
Thank you, Jerry.
This is to a program that wants to be taken serious, that's been kind of downtrodden and beaten for the last 20-plus years or more. This is the type of year you have as a reset. As a school.
Reset the expectations.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's what this is. Win, lose, or draw, like Jerry just said, that's what this is.
Yeah, I can always tell who's really listening to the show and who just maybe like sees us and keeps scrolling by or listens to like 30 seconds or just doesn't listen and hates either you or I, because those people exist. Those people feel like we've been very disrespectful to Vanderbilt. Why is that? Because they're not listening to what we're actually saying. We have been very fair towards Vandy all season, and there have been times where we haven't, and I'll admit that too. I feel like we have grown as people, as hosts. We've been very impartial on this.
Yeah.
Very much so. Yes, I would rather Tennessee win. Yes, I'll be rooting for Tennessee to win. Yes, we're both wearing orange today. Welcome to sports media in 2025. We've got to be able to also be ourselves and still do real analysis, which we've done and we'll continue to do. Vandy's a really good football team that could very much win this game. We even had a commenter in our chat who often tries to troll in our YouTube chat earlier this morning, say something like, Tennessee should be disrespected just being in the same ballpark as Vandy. No, they shouldn't. Vandy's a really good football team. This is 2025. We're not looking at the logo on the side of the helmet or on the jersey to talk about these teams in an intelligent way. There are really good football teams that are non-traditional powers, and Vanderbilt is absolutely one of them.
Which is wild
this year.
To me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not disrespectful to anyone to say that, like, Vandy's got a more than good shot to win this game. And if Tennessee comes out there and turns the ball over and doesn't value the football the way that they did against Oklahoma, Vandy could win this game by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And play ball control and force Tennessee to really throw it, pin their ears back, and come after Joey. Like, there's a scenario where Vandy walks in there and handles business. I think there are a lot of different outcomes on the table for this game. I think there's a scenario where Tennessee throws the ball all over the place against what I think is not a great Vandy secondary and scores 50 in this game. I also think there's a well where Diego Pavia runs for 150 yards and Vandy scores 50 in this game. They could also both score 50 and whoever has the ball last win it. I think the only scenario that's not going to happen is a low-scoring defensive struggle in this game. I think the defenses will struggle.
Get comfortable being uncomfortable for those who are in Neyland this weekend. Keep it loud, keep it raucous. Now, this is where my fan part come out. It should be toxic as heck, okay? There's one guy in particular that every single time stadium noise is brought up, he mentions Neyland. Cole Kublik. No matter who's tweeting it out, what's the loudest stadium, what's the most chaotic stadium, he says Neyland. Y'all got to hold up that reputation this week. And I'm saying y'all. For the ones who are going up there that still have their tickets, y'all should be hell to deal with this weekend.
Yeah, 100%. It needs to be an Alabama/Florida/Georgia game kind of crowd for Vandy, which never happens. Because, again, mid-state Vols fans care way more about Vanderbilt than the ones that live in East Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
I lived there for 1 year in second grade. I was shocked how little people cared about Vanderbilt.
I found that out this past weekend.
Shocked.
Yeah.
It's not a disrespectful thing to say. It's just the reality of it. I do think that Diego Pavia and some of his comments in the offseason has turned up the heat a little bit. I know he denied the opportunity to add to the trash talk over the weekend. He made the comment of I know what y'all are trying to do. I'm not doing that. He didn't take the bait this time, but I do think that you will see the loudest and most intense environment in Neyland Stadium that Vanderbilt has ever walked into.
And Tennessee's, just real quick before you go to the phone calls, Tennessee's can't do what they did last year and spot Vanderbilt 14 points. They have to get out to a really quick start like they did last week against Florida, because if they do give up those 14 points, I just cannot imagine Vanderbilt giving that up like they did last year.
Yeah.
Vandy Chris up next on the phones. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, gentlemen. Let me take just a second and give you guys your flowers. I appreciate how honest you've been about Vanderbilt this year.
Thank you.
And the takes you've had on them. You've not been disrespectful in any way. And anybody, and I'm talking to you Vanderbilt fans, anybody that says these two gentlemen have been disrespectful to Vanderbilt don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Thank you, Chris.
However, Justin just brought up what I think might happen. If we get up early, like we did last year, that 14-0, the kickoff return for the touchdown off the opening kick, I think that Tennessee crowd goes quiet, and they start thinking about, oh, God, here we go again with this defense, giving stuff up like it has all year, and that environment becomes less toxic and more favorable to Vanderbilt. I think that's how we win this game, is to get up early and quiet the crowd. The longer the crowd stays in it, the harder it's going to be. But to the point that's in the chat, Diego loves that environment. He loves it. And I think he could thrive in that too. So I appreciate you guys. Thanks for letting me talk. I'll listen to you later.
Appreciate it, Chris.
Thank you, Chris. Appreciate
I call you V Chris this week no more. You're just Chris.
I think he's 100% right. If I'm Vandy and I win the toss, I'm receiving the ball. I'm taking it. I'm trying to go on script, quiet the crowd, and play with a lead the whole game. 100%.
The Vols have only won the toss, I think, once or twice this year.
Really?
They've only, won it once or twice. So it'd be fascinating to see if the Vols do win this toss, what they choose to do with it.
Really, I mean, the exact thing that Tennessee did in the Swamp is what Vanderbilt needs to do in Neyland to have a chance, to have a good chance, is take the ball right down the field and have that crowd stress out a little bit. Because you could tell the Swamp was not the Swamp with the way Tennessee took the crowd out of the game very quickly.
More like a marsh.
And then all of a sudden, the home crowd is not really like a marsh. Thank you. The home crowd is kind of working against the home team sometimes when you do that as well.
It does.
Neyland will get very restless if Vandy's able to take an early lead in this game. Coming up, Ron Slay at 9:20. Your phone calls at 615-737-1045. Monday Night Football and hoops. One was better than the other last night. The round ball, not the egg-shaped one. Much better. We'll talk about the headlines from your Monday night as we wrap up Hour 3 and start Hour 4 coming up next.
9:02, good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. The 49ers beat the Panthers 20-9 on Monday Night Football. Brock Purdy, Bryce Young combined for 5 interceptions on the night. Christian McCaffrey rushed for 89 yards and a touchdown, as well as adding 7 receptions for 53 yards in the win. After a big 85-60 win last night over Rutgers in the Players Era Festival Tournament in Vegas, number 17 Tennessee Vols basketball is back at it tonight with a big tip-off against number 3 Houston at 5 p.m. Central. You can hear Vol Network's call right here on 104.5 The Zone starting at 4:30. In NFL news yesterday, Bengals head coach Zach Taylor told reporters that he anticipates quarterback Joe Burrow playing on Thanksgiving Day in their matchup against the Ravens. Meanwhile, T. Higgins, who has a concussion, and Trey Hendrickson with a hip injury have both been ruled out for the contest. Also, Vikings quarterback J.J. McCarthy's in concussion protocol after Sunday's game against Green Bay. Head coach Kevin O'Connell has not yet ruled out McCarthy, but backup Max Brosmer will take first-team reps in the interim. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Away we go into the fourth and final hour on this Tuesday morning, short week. Not a lot of time to break down the biggest Tennessee Vanderbilt game of all time, but we're doing our best. Ramon Foster, Will Bowling, Justin Hawkins, 615-737-1045. Ron Slay in 15 minutes.
Ron Slay right now.
Oh, he's here. Well, look at that. I said his name and he appeared. That's great.
He can be the boogeyman.
That's fantastic.
He can
I
be
love
the
being able to
boogeyman.
do that. That's great. All right, well, we'll get Slay on here in just a minute.
My boy. You ain't threw no dice in the corner like that.
Big one between Tennessee and Houston tonight as well. I thought of Slay last night quite a bit because I had basketball on the main TV, prep for my high school football game next week on the laptop. Monday Night Football was relegated to the iPad last night. I said I'm proud of you. He'll be on with us here in just about 15
Holiday
minutes.
basketball is good, though.
I love Feast Week so much,
man.
and the Players Era Tournament and Players Era, whatever you want to call it, Stup Week in Vegas just feels like a November NCAA tournament.
Yes, it does.
The way the presentation of the broadcast is, the way the arenas are full of different fan bases. It's good basketball. Candace Parker also outstanding analyst.
She was good
on television. I know they brought in Bruce Pearl for a lot of it as well. They were airing out her dirty laundry in her dating world. Did you hear that? Bruce at one point was like, Candace is a beautiful student athlete at Tennessee. She was dating one of my players and talking to 2 or 3 others, and she was in my office a lot. I had to convince her not to break up with my guys on the day of a game. Foul on the play. Flagrant foul on Bruce Pearl.
Bruce, brother.
Candace was a really good sport about it. I low-key, maybe they have that kind of relationship. If clearly they've known each other for a long time.
Candace.
I would be elbowing him under the table like, hey, buddy, shut up.
Shut up.
Please shut up.
My thing is she's Candace. Nobody speaks about Candace
I know.
like personal life. That's just like you talking about, like, it's like politics almost. Like, my personal stuff don't belong here, Bruce.
It was really funny.
Just because you in these streets don't mean you need to tell my dirty laundry. It's one of them situations like, look at them like, hey, be cool.
They did a good job. And Brandon Gaudin, the voice of the Braves, is a terrific basketball broadcaster as well. It's part of why I really liked watching a lot of the games last night. The presentation of it is excellent. It's a lot of the broadcasters that do March Madness, but that was funny. Bruce and Candace. Basically, like, that game was so much a blowout yesterday against Rutgers. They're just telling stories.
No doubt. It was a good one. Also, I mean, got to call it for what it is, too. They lost a close one, but young Pearl, though, Steven, got Auburn right now 5-1. They lost 73-72 to Houston.
Yeah, they beat Oregon last night.
For what it's worth, he's got them going in the right direction right now with a dub over Oregon last night. You mentioned that too. But
sure.
That was a great showing last night by the Vols basketball, or yesterday for the Vols. I want an open complaint too.
Okay,
all right, just real quick.
Go for it.
They need a East Coast game that starts at about 8:30 in the morning so we can get off like Buck and Zach and them did yesterday too. I was in hater mode, just like they get a free day.
And this afternoon, half of 3HL is Vol Network coverage of Tennessee and Houston begins at 4:30 here on 104.5.
The ever workers is what we are here. Okay, if you're the morning drive time.
And come March Madness, everybody else will be off and we'll be working. Everybody else gets a spring break, not us, Ramon Foster. How lucky are we? We get more time to talk sports with our friends. Positive.
You call this luck.
Bright side of it.
All right.
Last night in San Francisco, the 49ers beat the Panthers. Of all the football games I've watched this season, this was definitely one of them. 49ers 20, Panthers 9. 5 interceptions between these two teams. Carolina, despite intercepting Brock Purdy 3 times, unable to capitalize on any of it. Their running backs carried the ball 9 times in this game for 54 yards. Makes no sense to me. Dave Canales, very good coach, very good offensive mind. Put the ball in Bryce Young's hands way too much in this game. Carolina's inability to run the football killed them. And their inability to make a field goal late to keep it a 1-score game with a couple minutes left also killed them in this game.
And just the layups that you got to take. Bryce Young throwing that interception in the end zone was just flagrant as it could be. Your defense did as much as they could early on for Carolina to jump out and at least put pressure back on the 49ers, but the 49ers answered. That was, to me, a game of volleyball, watching both sides kind of turn it over. Christian McCaffrey ended up fumbling the football, but they got it back on that possession. You mentioned, the 49ers' ability to just rely upon Christian McCaffrey each and every play. There is no running back that I know of who fumbles the football, Hall of Fame type or not, that gets the ball the very next play. And that all have shown us what they were going to do last night with Christian McCaffrey. And they pretty much gave themselves balance earlier on through his legs because Brock Purdy wasn't providing that at all. Mm-hmm. He was seeing ghosts on Monday night is what he was seeing. I felt like the way he was throwing the football, there was almost a 4th turnover that kind of just went behind. I think it was J.C. Horn's hands on an interception too, to kind of hit the ground.
You know the way you can really tell it's Vanderbilt week?
How's that?
Jawan Jennings was throwing punches last night after that 49ers win over the Panthers.
Lord.
Punch is probably not the right word. Shoving Trayvon Merrick, warranted, by the way, for what Trayvon Merrick did to him during the game.
Insane.
A punch below the belt. Very warranted reaction from Jawan Jennings, who took care of business after the game.
We got to kind of clean up this extracurricular stuff that's kind of going on around the league right now. I saw Jamar Chase put out an apology also.
He's spitting on Nashville native Jalen Ramsey.
I didn't realize we turned into the MMA around here at this point in time, man. Even they don't do that. In MMA, there's no exchanging of fluids or hit below the belt type of stuff that happens. This is flagrant, man.
Jawan Jennings telling reporters after the game, the TV tape is going to tell you what happened. I was just responding to some childish behavior. That's all it was.
When you lose like that, you're not afforded to do that type of stuff.
Kyle Shanahan saying after the game, the guy took a cheap shot and hit him in the balls, for lack of a better term. Says, I was real proud of Jawan for not losing his mind out there and getting him to the sideline. Jennings finished with 5 catches for 41 and a touchdown. I love Jawan Jennings. Always have.
I hope at some point he gets past this undrafted side of his career and actually breaks the bank, man, because he's a very valuable asset.
Would love if he would come back to the mid-state and be a Tennessee Titan. Love.
Is he up?
Love. I think he is, actually.
I think so, too.
And we've had this conversation so many times. And to be fair, his contract has been up a lot as a restricted free agent, as being an undrafted player. Yes, he is a UFA.
Unrestricted
free agent this upcoming offseason on a 2-year, $15.3 million deal.
Because he had the exclusive rights.
Correct.
Then he had restricted. They paid him a little bit more. And I think this coming into this year, they gave him another bump to just be like, we love you.
And because they have no healthy receivers and got rid of Deebo Samuel.
And also, what's going on with the one that's not playing?
Brandon Ayuk?
Is that not the easiest payday anybody's ever received in their life?
It is, and it feels like he's going to become available this offseason.
Real soon. Titans
should be interested. Big Brandon Ayuk fan. He was a draft crush of mine back in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Would have loved if he'd been a Tennessee Titan. Still could. Titanomics is on the phone. Good morning, Titanomics.
Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. Hey, Will, you said Trump stamp and balls all in one day.
Yeah, no,
that's crazy.
He did.
I was quoting.
With no pause on one of them.
No pause. Hey, man, look, it's trash talk, rivalry week, so I'm gonna take you here.
Come on.
And I'm gonna have a little disclaimer, but this is no racist talk, no racism at all. But Cornelius Vanderbilt, that man owned slaves. The Vols, they volunteered, they signed up, and there will be no Texas without volunteers.
Mm-hmm.
We going up against a guy who made billions off the backs of other people and railroads. So it wasn't just black people.
Mm-hmm.
But that guy is the face and the name of this most prestigious school. But Vols by 50.
Yes, sir.
No matter what.
Yes, sir.
Volunteers, baby.
Yes, sir.
Throwing oranges all day.
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
Let's go. There we go, Titanomics.
Thank you, Titanomics. Appreciate
He
it.
slow walked that one, man, but kind of finished it off strong right there. Pause, man. That was awesome right there. I love that from him.
That is a great introduction for Ron Slay, who joins us in studio next. Tuesday morning continues on Ramon and Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee, and joining us in studio, SEC Network, 3HL, Nashville's own Hall of Famer, Ron Slay is in the building. Ramon Foster, Will Bowling. What's going on? Good morning.
There we go, Hawk. I'm in the building, good people. What's happening?
Man, there is a lot to get into in a short amount of time. I want to talk Tennessee Vandy on the football field, of course.
Okay.
Definitely want to talk about Tennessee basketball.
I don't see why you wouldn't.
Let's start with Tennessee basketball. It's feast week, after all. Football will have its time this weekend. We spent a lot of time on Tennessee Vandy.
Catch us Thursday.
Tennessee could have won by 50 yesterday if they really wanted to.
Yeah.
It was 80-40 at one point. It finished 85-60. My goodness, things have changed. We were just talking about this off air, that my outlook for this team has changed a lot in the last week.
Yeah.
Jacoby Gillespie and Nate Ament were making outside shots, which you said was going to happen. J.P. Estrella's already playing again after a bone bruise, and Candace Parker was right yesterday being like, to be young again, to be able to bounce back from that injury
like that.
as quickly as he has, and then down the lane, bang, just dunking it yesterday.
Yeah.
Really, really fun first half and a really fun opening to a big week in Vegas for Tennessee yesterday.
Yeah, it's fun to watch this team grow. When you talk about that guy, J.P. Estrella, him being able to bounce back. And what was so good about that, the guy that passed him the ball, that got on the floor for the ball, was Bishop Boswell.
Yeah.
So to be able to, those two guys who are going to be an intricate part of this team as far as moving forward, as far as depth goes, guys that have been around with the experience on that Elite Eight run team. So you need them guys in the fold. But that was beautiful to see them get back in that fashion and be able to be out there with an impact with no restraints. I think that's the biggest thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you saw the little knee brace on with Estrella, but you also saw a sleeve on Boswell. So them guys working through that, get through that mental part, hurry up and take that off. You know what I mean? Me, as one of those guys, I could not be with a brace or anything on, because I always felt like, I just felt like mentally, like it's something that I can't do. And also I would go with teams when they notice that, because I know if I looked at that and I saw you with a brace, I'm attacking it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So that was a mental game that I played. But with this team right here, you got to love how they coming along. Gillespie is a guy that's efficient. Like, he is a guy that flirted with 50, 40, 90. That's 50 from the field, 40% from three, 90% from the free throw line. And on any level, if you can do that, you're in a different realm. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Him being able to be efficient, like when he was missing them shots, guys were going 1 for 24 between the two of them, 7 for 30 and stuff like that. I knew that it wasn't going to last. You know what I mean? A lot of it is, we was just talking about it, you got to be able to find your way in this offense, where you're in an offense where it's ball movement, body movement, and the way you get set up in this offense is kind of leaning on the next guy to set you up, whether it's a back screen, whether somebody's getting overplayed and you read off of that. It's kind of read and react. So it's not much. The only outlier we saw in this offense ever was Dalton Connect. When they say give him the ball and, hey, man, everybody just get out the way. Yeah. And we kind of saw as the season progressed how that got people lost and watching the show instead of being a part of the show.
Right.
So in this situation, you got two guys coming in that's going to get into the floor of the game, hunting for their shots, looking for their shots, but also still trying to play the team way. And got to understand that the team way is you offensively. You know what I mean? Don't worry about, we'll get other guys the ball, and when guys commit or start doubling you, then you start to drop it off. But don't drop it off before then. Make these people commit. So it's going to be a process, you know what I mean? But, man, you start to see early on what that depth in the front court really means. Protecting the basket, that length. It's going to be just like we saw middle of January, and I got to keep going back to this because they are the blueprint. Florida and Houston go on they run. This is the possibility that the Vols have with this length and everything. Defensively, cleaning up, rebounds, second chances. That front court can be a problem for a lot of teams. So
It just feels like they can win different kinds of games with that this year. They are rebounding so many of their misses when they do miss jump shots that you're going to get 5 to 10 more shots a game just by nature of having bigger guys that can kind of recycle the possession for you. To me, the crazy thing is the last 2 years, Tennessee has found its quote-unquote Dalton Connect. And last year, Chaz Lanier was compared to that. He's a very different kind of player. But just the transfer scorer that comes in, it felt like in the offseason, Nate Ament was marketed as that player.
Mm-hmm.
You're the go-to guy.
Yep.
Everything revolves around you. I think Tennessee has two guys like that this year. Because I think Jacoby Gillespie is also that level of player to be able to take over. Because it's like he watched the Chaz Lanier Bahamas film from last year and what he was doing yesterday. Like, on any given night, either of those two guys can completely, all right, space the floor, y'all get in the corners, let me go. And that's something that Tennessee has not had in terms of secondary score and two guys that can do that since, Grant Williams and those guards, I guess. And even still, like, the secondary scoring option behind Grant wasn't as good.
Right.
Admiral was a dang good scorer in Lamonte, but, like, that's the best example of what I feel like Tennessee has this year.
Yeah, you got these guys, and Gillespie explodes for 32 points, and you use that as a springboard to go into conference play. You know what I mean? You get that confidence like you just spoke about with Chaz, but you got Gillespie going for 32 points on fire, and then we can say to a man that Nate Ament came in with a quiet 20.
Again,
he just got his average again. Like it's, you know what I'm saying? Like y'all talked about Sanak for, I think that's how you say his name, for Houston. Made a play, a bad defensive play, and Kevin Sampson pulled him out, set him down. He had double-digit rebounds already, but him being involved in this team, still cheering them guys on, that's a freshman that's going to be a top 20 pick. You look at the other side of that with Nate Ament, he didn't take a shot. Him and Rick Barnes, Kevin Sampson are cut from the same cloth. We don't give a damn about what you got going on in the future. We talking about right now. We're going to develop you and get you right for right now. And then we'll worry about after when you coming back and we announce you at halftime and you come out and wave. Then we can do all that. But right now, no, we got a way we're going to play and how you going to play. Set them down. Came back out, 17. It's like, okay, Nate Ament, like you said, had something in his eye. What lights at this? That bench or somebody else getting in front of you and playing your minutes, and you like, man, I got to sit here and watch and cheer my guys on. It's not about that, man. They don't play. These guys don't coach for the right now. You know what I mean? They're coaching for the future. So when you get that duo punch in Gillespie and Nate Ament, you can't necessarily load up. You know what I'm saying? Like, they went cold against Houston coming off that Kentucky game last year, and Zakai was cooking. Going into that Houston game, we was like, man, we could just make shots. Zakai got his shots. They just didn't fall, but that length and athleticism and rebounds and everything kind of mixed the game up for him. So now you walk into it and you ask what that duo punch would do. This is what it does. It evens the floor and keeps the playing field level instead of everybody being able to load up on one side or one person. So, hey, man, it's going to be fun to watch. And you ain't seen, I know the SEC started slow. College basketball in general, a lot of teams have started slow, except the top 5 teams. But people are figuring each other out now. These rosters and everything, that's why it's great to be playing Power 4 competition. And in these tournaments, you know what I mean, you got to go back-to-back because it fast-tracks it to you not playing, wasting the first month of conference play saying, okay, everybody's starting to get their body calloused and ready to go. Now, you walk into it, it's like, man, game 1, it's on. You know what I'm saying? It's go mode. This is what it's supposed to be.
That's kind of what I felt last night in this Players Championship, Players Era Festival that they're having out in Vegas, though, too. Like, I'm looking at just them being outside of Knoxville. There are more eyes. There may be more NBA people, personnel inside of the arena also. And, having Gillespie and also Nate Ament show up. Not just that. Syracuse played outside of their mind last night against Houston. And Houston, to your point, answer the call in these type of situations. That's the beautiful part to me about what basically the preseason for college basketball is. You get to go toe-to-toe with some of the best right now, and I think for me, and I hope for the Vols, that was Nate Ament's moment. That was also Jacoby Gillespie's moment to say, this is the expectation moving forward. And again, I mentioned it to I can't go any further without mentioning Akpar.
He's going to be a problem.
Him and Cade, to me, and Estrella, I'm still getting used to because we didn't get him last year.
And Dwayne Brown, who had a good little performance at the end of the game, too.
Still doing dirty work. That man, 4 points, 3 fouls, or 3 points, 4 fouls? And you still didn't drop a beat there.
That's how it's supposed to be, man. You talk about the competition and raising each other up. And then when they're front court, that's competition within itself alone before you even make it to the game. But all of this comes into play when you're talking about that front court, the depth of it. Is when you go against teams like UConn in the past. You know what I'm saying? When they went on that back-to-back championship tear that they went through with Coach Dan Hurley, like that right there was because of that front court. They had the length and them small fours and athletes out there. Then you look at the same thing Florida was able to do, Houston's able to do. The list goes on and on. You got to have some experience down there. And even if it's not impactful in the stat sheet as far as, 10 points, 10 rebounds, Ruben Chenalou for Florida was a dog and started and probably averaged 4.5 fouls a game. You know what I'm saying? But 8 rebounds, 2 blocks, and just his presence on the floor. Yeah. Like, he's going to do something crazy. Like, I expect Jalen Carey or Cade Phillips to lose their mind once or twice.
Cade can't help it.
It's okay.
He can't, and it needs
like, you need it. But guess what you got?
Now, because you have depth.
You can. Yeah. And it's okay. Like, hey, dog, come over and sit down. You know what I mean? And get you fired up for the next game, but let Dwayne Brown go. Let Carey go. Like,
that's true.
Man, dude, that makes a hell of a time for coaches to be able to kind of, play with their lineup.
That's a good point.
And then you start to find out you got Bird, you got Abrams, you got Bishop when he comes in. Like, you got guys, you got depth all over. Coach Barnes got his work to echo what Will said. This could be his deepest team and most talented team. And that's crazy to say when you get guys, you got 2 guys on the team that's up for National Player of the Year defensively. You know what I mean? All SEC point guards, that's breaking assist records. You got guys that's making a hell of an impact for the longest win streak with the Detroit Pistons. When you talk about Isaiah Thomas teams, you talk about Chauncey Billups teams. But this team that Chaz is on with Cade Cunningham and having an impact, like you got impactful guys that you had, and you talking about this team being the one that's the top notch as far as talent goes. Yeah. That's tough, man. That's tough, especially in this day and age.
Jeez. It is, and I feel like it's going to be interesting how they can play that style against Houston, who's got the same DNA as a program and was better at it last season than you were because of the depth in the front court. Well, how do you think Tennessee's front court matches up with theirs? Houston struggled against a Syracuse team that was not supposed to keep it that close yesterday. They bullied Auburn. Auburn, who's been kind of shaky to start, who looked good in the win over Oregon. I watched most of that game last night.
Look at you, man. I'm so proud of you.
I'm serious.
I don't know what to do with you, dude.
It feels...
I don't know what to do with you. I know. Dog, I'm telling you right now, dog. I couldn't wait to get on here today because, dog, I don't know if everybody was watching, but as soon as they came back from the first halftime, what did they have plastered on the TNT screen? And I couldn't screenshot. I was driving in.
My tweet.
Yeah, it was Will Bowlin's tweet. I couldn't screenshot it because YouTube, they won't let you.
No, they won't let you screenshot.
I was like, no, I gotta have this, dog. When I saw Will Bowling, I said, see, this is what I'm talking about. We done made it.
This is your influence.
We done made it, dog. This is what I was talking about 2 years ago when I was in the chat and going at Will. It was for moments like this. Like, dude, football would never. You know what I'm saying? Like college game day and college football would never. But basketball, the biggest tournament in the preseason right now, Will Bowling's tweet is up first at halftime. I said, that's my dog. That's my damn dog. I was so proud.
I got so many texts. I was literally like the Leonardo DiCaprio meme. I was like, what? Looking at the screen, like, what?
I was like,
wait a minute.
That's Will. Wait a minute.
If you missed it, I tweeted out a picture of Michael Jordan from The Last Dance and said, Rutgers, asterisk, shows up. Jacoby Gillespie. And I took that personally. was the tweet that got put up on the
But guess what, though, Will? I think a lot of people have that right now. You know what I'm saying? As far as that, what pulls you in? I think college basketball been looking for this time right now. Like, what can get people going? And this tournament is going to be one. You got Feast Week taking place. It's going to be one. But to lead back to what you were saying, Auburn, I was impressed by them playing Houston to a 1-point game in Birmingham. I was like, whoa, wait a minute, because I was so down on Auburn. I'm like, hey, I don't know what the hell they finna be. They ain't even got no bigs for real.
No, not the same kind of toughness to complement the backcourt that you've seen under Bruce Pearl.
Exactly. So I was like, man, they gonna bully them. And Auburn answered. They answered the bell. So I figure, man, going into this matchup with Tennessee, like it should be something similar as far as the mentalities. We know Kevin Sampson and Coach Barnes. You know what I'm saying? I think where your edge should lie with Tennessee is the front court. Roberts is gone. They have Tugler, who's the key for those guys now to try to school these young guys. And I need this victory so bad because I was debating, and I don't know why, with a Houston fan after I was giving Auburn props, playing them in a 1-point win. I'm diagnosing and analyzing Auburn. Here comes a Houston fan telling me why I should be analyzing them. I said, no, just wait your turn. Like, I shouldn't even. Like, how am I talking about Auburn and you want me to talk about Houston? I'll get to them soon. You know what I'm saying? So the argument and the debate was this is Sanox and what's the name? Kingston Flemings.
Yeah.
It's their team. I say, listen to me, dog. I'm telling you this right now. Uzan, Sharp, and Tugler is their team.
Tugler is.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They have awkward games. It looks weird, but it's their team. And if you think it's a freshman team, you're crazy. Not only by me saying it, but I promise you Kevin Sampson would echo that. And the reason they lost that, the reason they had to go into overtime for that game yesterday is because Tugler was on the bench, Sanox was in, defensive responsibilities, they messed up, and that dunk on the slip screen when he slipped, faked the handoff, and when Dunk started and ignited a run for Syracuse to come back. And what did he do immediately? Got Tugler up off the bench and set his top 15 pick down and didn't get back in the game. That's right there. Experience, dog. It's not – Carmelo Anthony was an anomaly.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant in college was killing Carmelo Anthony. No, it's not even a comparison. He swept all the awards. I don't know if we'll ever see that again. And he couldn't make it to the Final Four. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't have a veteran-laden team, dog, you're not getting to that level. I don't give a damn who you got over there playing. Melo and them had some vets on their team as well. He was the star, no ifs, ands, or buts, to carry him over the hump. But you got to have veterans, dog. So that experience in the front court for Tennessee in this situation, Gillespie being able to make it to the Sweet 16 with Maryland, you know what I mean, should bode well in a team that's kind of heavily relying on some freshmen to help them and bring them along. Also, take it for what it's worth in this game that this is not how it's going to shake out for Houston either, or Tennessee. Right. Like, points will be made in this game by either coach. The fans are one thing. Their team, something totally different. So if something ain't going to script, dog, we will sit down and lose this game to win in February and March, you know what I mean, than win this right now. Yep. We got plenty of NIL money. Like, this is a boost and a bonus, but we'll get back home and we can call somebody. We can get Thunder, Pratt, or somebody. We can get some money. So don't worry about this.
The big cowboy hats in the courtside.
Yeah, we out here having a good time for this, but we got a mission, though. You know what I'm saying? So,
that's a great point.
Yeah, take it for what it's worth. You know, a grain of salt.
That's big time, Savage. Listen, I'm over here just sitting back right now.
It's basketball mode, Savage. I'm ready, baby. I'm ready.
My dog was going well right there.
I'm ready.
All right, with that being said, let's go over to my side real quick, and then we got to go to break.
Okay, cool.
Tennessee Vandy.
Yeah.
Where you at? Give me a temperature. You know we up against the clock right now on the commercial, but what's your temp going into this one before we get after and break it down? Where you at?
I'm first of all, I'm looking at it from a player's perspective. If I'm on
y'all had Trash Talk Monday yesterday too, by the way. Yeah,
we're just gonna turn it into the whole week.
I saw that.
Dude, I'm coming from the player perspective. I don't give a damn what's going on outside. I don't care what the CFP is talking about. This is personal because we had to listen to this in the summer. You know what I mean? This didn't start once Vanderbilt got to rolling and Pavi and them. He came through with these last 3 games of 400-plus yards. They acting up, defense doing what they do, big explosive plays. They packing it out, game day going. This was before then. They felt this way before then. So y'all had this circled, and we wasn't paying no attention. We just thought this was, it's a rivalry game. We'll get to it when we get to it. We got to play Florida. We got to play Oklahoma. We got to play Bama.
We got a lot in front of us.
It's a whole lot that we got to deal with before we get into this.
Quarterback left, all that type of stuff.
This y'all state. That's what's up. Okay. I tell you what, I know what to do. When we get to this game, don't come in here. I ain't mad if they go out there and don't shake hands. We'll shake hands after the game. But this right here before the coin toss, it's on, buddy. You know what I mean? If it's so nasty, Savage. I would tell my teammate when we go out there, continue holding hands. Because if y'all let my hand go, I may swing on one. That's how personal it would be for me. You know what I mean? And you got to control your mentality. You got to control your emotions in this game. But, boy, between them whistles, Lord have mercy. I'm Al Wilson before Florida snapped the ball, scraping back and forth between the D tackle, just waiting on them to snap it. I'm diving. Hey, man, this is different.
More of that with Ron Slay when we continue. Final segment of the show.
I know. I was close.
Is coming up next.
It's Ramon and Will for Volunteer Traditions. Just let that breathe.
Emphasis on the volunteer. I like it.
Because there's a store up in Gallatin that you can just go to, Will, and get you some gear for this weekend. Look, a lot of people thankful that they got, and right now they got the biggest sale of the year going on, too. If you don't want to go to the store, guess what? You can also go to volunteertraditions.com before all of it's gone. And what better time than be around family, share the same colors, have on the same gear. But, Will, they got different variations in this, too.
They absolutely do, Ramon. And when it comes to Vols apparel, nobody does it better than Volunteer Traditions. I've got the lightweight hoodie on today from Volunteer Traditions. It is my absolute favorite. Their holiday sale, biggest one of the year. Save up to 40% on high-quality polos, outerwear, tees, hats, and more, whether you're shopping for yourself, for a trip to Knoxville this weekend, or grabbing bundles and deals for every Vols fan. This is the time to load up. I'm going to be rocking the orange TriStar for obvious reasons this weekend in Knoxville from Volunteer Traditions. Make sure you head online, volunteertraditions.com, for their biggest sale yet, 40% off your favorite Vols apparel online at volunteertraditions.com. Ramona Will, 104.5 The Zone. Wrapping up the show with Ron Slay in studio. Ramon Foster, Will Bowling, Justin Hawkins, Rhett Bryan filling in for me tomorrow. I'm off to spend Thanksgiving with family. We'll be back on Monday. And I'm sad to miss another day of previewing Tennessee Vandy, but we did a lot of it this morning.
We'll make it up for you.
Absolutely.
We'll make it up for you. Man, Rat talk a little Titans tomorrow, too. A little preview they got going on with the Jaguars.
That's right.
So we'll get it going, man.
Is absolutely right. Tennessee and Vandy Saturday afternoon. Slay, I'm interested to see what Tennessee can copy and paste from the Florida game.
Yeah.
Saturday against Vanderbilt, mentality-wise, mistake-wise, and just in terms of the penalties, no turnovers, and just the scheme. The three linebackers on defense, to me, I think is a really interesting part of this game, and I think it fits the style of defense you need to play to beat Vandy if you could execute and tackle in space again the way you did against Florida and just contain a mobile quarterback. I know Pavia is better than Lagway.
Right.
What a sentence. But it's the reality of it that it all comes down to containing the off-script stuff from Pavia, right?
Yeah, no question. And I think you've hit on that the last week coming into this and this week. Like you've nailed it. Like it ain't no ifs, ands, or buts. So I'm going to go to the offensive side of it, Willie.
Yep.
I think you handled that. But offensively, I would say when we start talking about keeping emotions intact, it's nothing like explosive plays. You know what I mean? A 50-yard bomb or a 30-yard pass and you take it, you know what I mean, to the house, 10-yard, whatever it may be, a little screen and you break a couple tackles, go to the house. Like that gets the people on their feet. But you know what gets players on their feet?
What's that?
When you control the trenches and you know when I snap this ball, we getting 5 to 7 yards every single time. Like that makes you get up out of your seat as a player and walk to the sideline and say, no, I got to see this.
Yeah.
I got to see these guys physically moving this line back. And that right there, if you can do that, that controls all the motions, all at tempos, everything else. Because you watching guys physically do what this don't take no precision. This don't take no touch. This is I'm finna whoop your ass at the line and it ain't nothing you can do about it. It's no better feeling than to watch my teammate move a person. And I know we gonna do this every time. And they know it too. Dude, we done broke your wheel. We done broke your wheel. You know what I mean? Like and then from that point on, then now we can start doing the little passes and no, this is the fun, the explosive firework plays now. You know what I mean? That we can get to the fake screen and he slip it the block and go and take off for 40 yards. You know what I mean? You hit him downfield, precision. But this right here, moving them up front, I'm telling you, watch the sideline.
Has Pavia played in England?
No,
he's not.
First time.
This is first time. I never really do this because I just always want to be level-headed in it.
Yeah.
Listen, I might if y'all ain't drunk and hooting and hollering. The level you mentioned this on break, like the difference in this matchup this time is this started in the summer. It wasn't just the players; it was the coaches. Is Clark Lee being involved in it emotionally, physically? He's giving his all to Vanderbilt.
Yes.
That's the difference. And not just that, the noise behind it isn't coming from Knoxville. Will, you mentioned it earlier. People in East Tennessee don't really think about this game as much.
Not at all.
Not like that.
Promise you.
This one, Savage.
You got my attention.
You got my attention.
That's what that
You're going to
is.
get Tennessee's best shot in a game that does not often get Tennessee's best shot. It did last year.
Yeah.
To be fair, Tennessee was locked in for this one because they had to be.
Yeah, they had to.
The goals were bigger.
Yep.
Yes.
But you're going to get that same kind of mindset going into this. The thing I'm curious on, Slay, from Vandy's perspective, we were talking about this a little bit off air. I think you can care too much about a rivalry.
Yeah.
And I think Ohio State is the best example of that in the way they treat Michigan. Do you think Vandy cares too much about Tennessee, or is that a stupid question?
They'll say we ain't nobody.
Yeah,
don't say that, Will. They'll say we're nobody.
I think Will, is all you have to do is believe what your eyes and ears, you know what I mean, are showing you and hearing. You know what I mean? This wasn't a small just from the documentary. This was a media tour that they went on, you know what I'm saying, in the summer. And every single time it was a soundbite that came from it talking about Tennessee that had nothing to do with your success. Your success came from you beating Alabama the way you did. You know what I'm saying? And using Nick Saban, plastering him up on the big screen and things of that nature. Now, I understand this is what we want the rivalry to be, but you can also go into it and handle it. And then, you know what I mean, come out talking. So, I mean, they put it at the forefront. You know, so does it mean a lot? Absolutely, especially for this. This is the mountain that they were set to climb.
And they haven't climbed it yet.
And they haven't climbed
They've achieved a lot under Clark Lee. This is one thing they've not achieved yet.
Absolutely. So it's going to be interesting to see how it pans out, man. But I think it's one of those times, man, you got so much land on it. And sometimes you just ain't the big dog. Sometimes you just ain't the big dog. You know what I mean? And ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? You're doing great over there. Stay over there in your yard. Nobody told you to come over in this yard.
No.
Yeah, you thought that invisible fence in this collar was going to stop something. We come on out in the street with this one.
We can handle that.
Yeah, we come in the street with this
we can handle that one.
Since I'm not here tomorrow, I'll go ahead and reveal it now, my pick of the game. I do think Tennessee wins. I think it's a very high-scoring game.
Okay.
I think it's something to the effect of 42-38 Tennessee. I think the line is about right. I think it's very high-scoring. I think both teams score a lot. If Tennessee turns it over a bunch, Vandy can win it, but I think Tennessee's defense has made the necessary strides in the last few weeks to be ready for a matchup like this.
I side with you on that one.
Yeah.
Going east going to be fun this weekend.
It is going to be fun.
It's going to be it.
I'm excited to make the trip. You going?
Cool. I will be in the building.
I will be there too.
You better believe it.
We know Ramon will be there. Probably with a plane in pocket.
Yeah, they keep asking for the flyover, man.
Well, it's a thing, Savage.
We ride it on. Everyone have a happy Thanksgiving. Thankful for all of you who listen to this show, who interact with us, whether it's a hate listen or a love listen. We appreciate you for being a part of our morning. I will see you all next week.
Be safe, Will. Enjoy yourself, man. Get a drink with an umbrella in it or something like that.
I will
or something
do exactly
straight and neat. But remember at all times, your Twitter fingers and your mic is always hot, baby.